I assumed that was allowed since he said don't say that on air. He may have thought we already were.
Maybe, ever since we're not. Hi, guys.
Yeah, hi, we're on now.
Yeah, we're live now.
The fun thing is I'm not sure how I'm going to know when he's here because my only way of knowing is this screen right here, sources, and he'll pop in right here. But if I'm over here on chat and we're talking to, whomever.
Right.
Artsy, let's say, because Artsy does tend to
She
come to
does.
these things.
She does.
We appreciate her. We appreciate everyone who comes.
Yes.
But if we're over here talking with them and all of a sudden he pops in and I don't even see him because it doesn't pop his face up over here, where I would assume it would. Yeah, I have no idea how I'm going to know when he's here.
Yeah, so be like, I'll keep an eye on the chat because...
Oh, yeah.
I just saw your response.
Yes, Artsy, it is the boys.
Yeah. Hello.
We are the boys.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're currently waiting for a certain marchand that happens to be running late.
Which does happen.
Yes.
Hold on. I've got a song in mind.
You got a song in mind.
Yes, I do.
So how are you doing, Artsy? Artsy says, and yes, I forgot it was third party one today. Nice. Forgot this was our patron pick.
Yes.
So here's a fun fact for everyone not in the know. In the last week, it appears Restream has updated.
Really?
Because there's a lot here that's different. There's a lot here that's the same.
Okay.
But there's a lot here that's different. So if I look like I get lost during the podcast, that's why.
Fair. So the song in question would be
Everybody's working.
Playing with the Boys by Kitty Lofton from the Top Gun soundtrack.
Fair enough. And here I was thinking you were going to play, if I can get it, hit the right buttons. I'm not playing it over.
Breakfast for Dinner. It's like, that's a good choice.
Breakfast for dinner is always a good choice.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite meal of all time.
I'm going to turn it up once it gets past the thing. This is what I was thinking.
Okay, fair enough. Probably one of the best openings to an animated movie so far.
I have a feeling where this is going to fit on a lot of our lists.
Remember, this is owned by Hasbro.
And... Do you
know where I'm
pulling this from? It ain't Hasbro.
Okay.
Hasbro acts like this song doesn't exist to license out to anybody.
Fair. But yeah, it's just like, when it's like, oh, just hang with the boys and be like, oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, I think breakfast is probably the best dinner meal of all time. Be like, if it was my choice, be like, in which me and my wife be like on Sundays, we pick out what we want to, what we have for dinner. And we have done breakfast for dinner a few times.
Now that could mean a couple of things. Are we talking pancakes? Are we talking waffles? Are we talking sausage, bacon, and eggs?
True.
What are we talking?
That is true.
I mean, all these are good choices.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, and ever since I've waiting for Nathan. Yes,
we are. Paladin Empire, we are
waiting for Nathan.
He appears to be held up.
Yeah.
By something.
Yes.
It'll be his business if he tells us what.
Yes. And he's being held up a lot.
Well, I just got approved to do a Devo. For a Daily Nerd Devo.
Oh, no.
About a certain thing we have planned for later in the month. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, roar.
You're going to tell me
that thing that we were talking about earlier this week that we pushed back? Deer and lizard.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Like, how much more hints can I give without actually saying it out loud?
Deer, lizard. Got it. Okay, you got a Devo over that?
I'm gonna do a Devo over that.
Oh my gosh.
But my approach, I think, is going to work.
Oh my gosh.
But now I've got to write it and record it.
Oh my.
Paladin Pirate says he might be having those headaches looked at.
Oh.
Does he have headaches?
Do you suffer with headaches, my friend?
Or is he talking about Nathan having headaches?
Oh. Oh no, he's got migraines. Yeah, migraines are not fun.
Migraines are never fun.
My younger brother, Jim, who's been on the show a few times, he deals with migraines like all week, most of the time. It's gotten better over the years, but I had one almost a self-induced migraine once because I very stupidly, when you're young and dumb, you take your medication for your asthma, and you take medication for a headache, and you do this and this and this. You go to bed and your head's about to split open.
Stress is a thing.
Yeah, stress can be a thing. Stress can be like, trigger my Tourette's. I know that. Praise the Lord for medication. It helps a lot.
And any sort of mitigation of the Tourette's.
Yeah.
So, some sad news hit today.
Yes.
Chuck Norris has passed away.
Mm-hmm. I love the memes that came out, because of his passing.
We've had the rebirth of the Chuck Norris facts.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding. It's like no, he just kicked the Grim Reaper out of the way. He just walked in.
Here's your Chuck Norris fact. Chuck Norris didn't die. He just walked into the sunset.
Yeah. Or like Chuck Norris didn't get the invite to heaven by God. He literally just walked in.
Yeah, pretty much. There was one that thought, oh, that's both heresy and sacrilege.
True.
It's like,
not exactly correct.
Like, I can't tell if this Facebook page that posted this, if they're actually Christian or if they're mocking Christians. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, nowadays. Yeah, while you're seeing Chuck Norris references, oh yeah.
That's why you're seeing so many Chuck Norris references.
Chuck Norris didn't die. He broke into heaven.
He didn't need to break into heaven.
True.
I do believe,
yeah,
my understanding, he actually was a Christian.
Yeah, born again believer, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, definitely if you're, would pray for his family, because apparently he went into the hospital for like a surgery or whatever in Hawaii.
I'm wondering if he was just there on vacation.
Who knows? I don't know. Now, my wife was like, oh, that's so sad to be like, he was kind of cute as a Texas Ranger. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see people thinking that. He was a good looking man.
Yeah, he was a good looking dude. I agree. Oh my word. But yeah, it's been an interesting day. Heard that sometimes when people get up there in age, they can be sometimes small or when
something smaller routine and they don't make it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I had a church member be like, we'd gone to a conference, what have you, and she was going in for knee surgery and she didn't make it, or knee replacement or whatever. Didn't make it. So yeah, like it always says, we're not guaranteed tomorrow.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, knee replacement. Yeah. Yeah, I had a classmate. He was a grade below us. Mikey Blanton or Michael Blanton. He was like, everybody loved this guy. He was just below our grade. So he would graduate in 2003. and everybody loved him. He was the guy you wanted to talk to. And one day he never came to school because apparently he died in his sleep from a heart attack at, I think, 16, 17 years old. It was tragic. Like, even to this day, almost 23 years later, at our local football stadium, the Maida Bowl, they still run the mighty flag because that was the flag he ran because he's a mascot. So to this day, they still run the mighty flag. I'm fairly certain most of the students don't know what that is, but yeah, it was my generation that happened. It's like, yeah, that was a rough 2 years. Let's say that, because Mighty passed away, and then we had Aaron, who was a very sweet guy. He sadly lost his life to suicide. So he was a classmate of ours. So that was tough. So we had 2 deaths in our class. It was rough. And then we went through 9/11 and all that good stuff. So, kind of sorry for a downer, but that's just, the way things are.
Kind of going that way when I mentioned Chuck Norris passed away.
That's true. So it's more be like, you never know. And it's just more keep in touch with people. Might be like, I think my thing is because both my parents are now 75 years old. Oh, yeah. And so it's more important nowadays to kind of just keep in touch with them. Be like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, because actually me and my wife are going to go to Nacogdoches tomorrow to have lunch with my parents. And then we're going to go look around Marchand.
That's how I know he's
here.
There
you go.
I wasn't sure how I was going to know he was here.
Oh, you weren't sure?
Oh, and I still have this set going to the wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Well, admittedly, what I meant by that is I had the chat window up where I could see it, and I was not sure how I was going to see you come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I meant.
I was just simply going to say, a wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. I am the founder of this feast. I could show up late if I want.
Oh, okay.
It's your party, and you can cry if you want to.
How many references can we squeeze into this?
That is true. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Dude, it'd be like I've been watching some of your TikToks. Be like, the beard was coming in really good.
Yeah, well, I was in a stage play a couple weeks ago, and the character I was playing was basically an overgrown man child, and the beard just didn't make sense. So it had to go. But I will say, every year when I do it, I initially started doing it as like a No Shave November thing, and each year it comes in a bit better, so I get a little bit happier with it each time.
Oh, okay.
So, that's why it's been sticking around a little longer each time.
Fair.
So, it's something I will definitely be doing at least on an annual basis.
Oh, okay.
So it came in better this year than it had in years past. So it's like, yeah, okay, maybe I can't keep doing this funny little thing.
Yeah. So how did your book signing go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It was all right. I was at a Half Price Books. I don't know if you guys have Half Price Books in that area.
We do.
Okay, I was trying to say, because it's like either what's the other one?
I think they originated in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, because
but we didn't get one until about 10 years ago.
Yeah, depending on who I talk to, it seems like it's either Half Price Books. What is the other one? Because I can't remember what the other
something million books. What is
that?
Books
a Million. Books a Million.
Books a Million.
It seems like people either have Half Price Books or have Books a Million. Well, we have
there was a Books a Million.
I was actually contacted by one of their employees because somehow they got word that I was a local author. It's like, hey, would you like to do a signing?
We just lost your audio.
Just lost your audio there, Nate. Hey, hang on.
We can't
it's not on my end. Can you hear us, Artsy?
Hello?
There he is.
There we go.
Can you hear us?
Okay. I must have had an internet hiccup or something.
Okay.
Indiana internet and all that.
Yeah, well,
the Empire
has not
been keeping up on its infrastructure.
Yeah, I found out that there's actually that fiber optic was just installed in this area, and I can get it. but I'd also be paying for that on top of the stuff that's provided by my apartment complex.
Oh, that's
I have no option to get out of it.
Oh, that stinks.
It wasn't always like that, but then they made a corporate contract with Xfinity.
Oh yeah, I get that.
So yeah, there's no getting around it. When it used, like I said, it used to be optional. Otherwise, I would have jumped at it because I'm like, we're talking like speeds in the gigs.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Though I am getting a lot better speeds now since I moved. So
yeah, but to go back to the book signing, they contacted me, found out I was a local author. I said, let me get a new book out. But then they said, we don't do signings, during Christmas and for a few months, basically during the winter months.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So, I scheduled it for the Ides of March, funny enough. No, it was the day before, excuse me.
Okay, day before.
But I forgot to make an Ides of March joke online. But
yeah,
I only sold a handful. It was only for 2 hours. But, I realized that, I'm competing with a bunch of shiny in this place, and people are walking. There's plenty of traffic, but people are going in there looking for books that they know they're going to like, and they might not be quite as willing to take a risk on somebody they don't know.
True.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's what that was how I helped myself sleep that night. But I did sell a handful of books. But if anybody in the chat, because I can't see the chat. Where's the chat? I need to bring up the chat so I can see. If anybody in the chat would like to have books, let me know after the show, and we'll see if we can cut some deals. Yeah, I still have some in my own. I still have some inventory, and if people want me to mail them signed books for a reasonable price, fair, we can make that happen.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of books, because remember, like we had a conversation about a certain cover and a certain character, little dragging character.
A certain what?
I'm not following.
Oh, apparently be like I'm the only one.
Oh, dragon. You said dragon?
Dragon.
Okay. No, who's on the cover? Dragon. Who's on the cover of one of my books? Yes.
Yes.
Rock the Dragon.
Rock.
Sorry.
Yeah. Something like that.
Sorry.
Yes. Well, we'll be talking.
Y'all had. So
we'll be talking about that. And trust me, we've been talking about it. Without giving too much away, he's been doing illustrations, and I'm hoping to have the first episode out next week.
Okay.
Proper episode. But in fact, one of the reasons I was late today is because one of the actors who is in this little, in the Ultraman new audio drama is local, so I was recording with them.
Fair.
For episode 2, actually. So
nice.
Yeah. So he's gonna, because he's Culture Box, I asked Jacob, to do the cover art for all of these episodes. So there's going to be this really epic one. I've shared it with my Patreon, where you will get to see an original Ultraman fighting a fire-breathing T-Rex.
Yes, that was a fun piece to work on. Let's just say that.
Yeah. And then we've been talking about what to do with episode 2, and I have already got some funny ideas for another episode. I've kind of jotted down potential ideas for covers, and Jacob here will get opportunities to make some more original characters. So that's been interesting.
Yeah,
working with you, trying to come up with original character designs. That's been fun. But you'll also get to do some fun little returning characters, because I will be doing a few legacy monsters in the show, some actual Ultra Kaiju, and so you'll have to go find some references for all of those. And
I guarantee there's plenty on the internet.
There's plenty. There is plenty. So I'm looking forward to all of this. And
a certain wolf character we've mentioned before.
There might be something of an original character from Jacob here, kind of Drew as well.
Drew, it was called.
Drew came up with the name.
Yeah, I came up with the name, but I think my part of the crossover ended up not ever happening.
Well, that's
I
because
kind of forgot to take care of my part of it.
We can work some magic.
I never did my audio drama over here that I was working on.
That's all right. I mean, I kept running into delays and stuff. And you got plenty of time to get it set up
if I ever do.
Time comes. Yeah. Or, it can just be a thing that happens in that episode.
Fair enough.
you know, we don't have to, you know, turn this into the MCU. Even though the fact that I'm usually going on other podcasts in kayfabe, kind of turns it into the MCU.
I mean,
like there are like all of my guest appearances. If I am in character, are all part of the MIFV verse.
Fair.
So congratulations.
It must be
you have been
interesting
contributing to my ridiculous lore.
It must be interesting trying to merge all of this weird stuff together.
Yeah.
That was never intended to go any farther than a one podcast.
Yeah.
Well, it was just
again, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those weird things. I had to make a decision. It's like when other people started asking me to be on their shows, like, do I go on there and keep the shtick going?
Right.
And I made the decision to keep the shtick going because, you know, it's part of what makes my show different. So
that's
I
fair.
figured, oh, why not? Unless they tell me not to, and then I don't, which is fine. You know,
yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, those can be some out of character appearances. You know,
yeah, and we've had one of those out of character appearances. So
yeah, I think what was it? Which one was it? Was it when we did the retro cartoons talk?
No, well, I think that technically was too, but there was one before that where you intentionally came in out of kayfabe.
Oh yeah,
I
said like, well, congratulations,
you're
making me drop. Yeah, it's like congratulations, you're making me drop kayfabe. I never do that.
I think to this day, but there was another one where you came in out of kayfabe the whole episode.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was,
I can't remember. Oh, it was the one I had Jake, or Jake and I were on. No, yes. Because I had one of my co-hosts.
Yes,
Henshin Power.
It wasn't Ultraman Rising.
No,
which was
no.
One of them had it, and the only other one I could think of was Super Broly.
No, he couldn't make it. They couldn't make it to that. It was just me. I think it might have been Rising.
Was it just the three of us on Rising?
No, I think Jacob was on. Jake was on for that one.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's what I went on because I'd already talked about it on MIFV, so I went on there representing Henshin Power.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because
I barely remember what happened in the last couple weeks, much less the last couple years of this podcast.
Yeah, I can understand. So, yeah. And it's a good thing Edwin grabbed that last one because I had plans. And the virtual background died again. I hate it.
Of course. It happens.
Yeah, I'm going to keep fighting with it the entire time.
Are y'all ready, though, to get started?
Yes.
What is this one? What is this background? Is that one of the pre-installed backgrounds?
Maybe.
Don't know.
I've not messed with the pre-installed backgrounds.
Probably a good idea.
Possibly.
I mean, I've only been using Restream for like 3 or 4 years now. And the only backgrounds I have I mess with are the ones on the behind our videos. So
yeah, well now I can't even get it to work.
That is weird.
Deselect background. Okay, can I click this one again? Apparently it is not going to cooperate. So, oh wait, no, I got it to work. Well, we'll see how long it lasts.
Let's see how long that will last.
We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts.
All right.
I do have notes pulled up for this, and FYI, if I had thought of this sooner, I would have sent it to you. I watched the movie twice, and once was with commentary, and the commentary is very informative.
Okay.
I wish I had sent that information to you in case you wanted to add it to info and stuff. So I may just have to contribute it myself. Anyway,
you're good.
Throw it in whenever necessary.
Yes.
All right.
Are y'all ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Let's get some Cobra.
The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast. Joining me today is a man who searches for bombs while his friend drives the car. Welcome, Jacob.
Hey, I've got a good nose. Come on, why not? Why thank you? Let me introduce a
follow
co-host.
your nose wherever it goes. To
Exactly.
Find Fruit Loops.
Mine is a snout, not a beak. Why thank you? Let me introduce our co-host, a man who, oh my gosh, if he didn't stop screaming Cobra, I'm going to run my head into a wall. Welcome, Drew.
I have opinions about that particular character that will come up later. how toyetic can you get?
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding.
Also, because this is his Patreon pick, joining us tonight is a man who, well, he sounds like Starscream, and he's not Skeletor, but he is a Nate Marchand of the Monster Island Film Vault.
Yes, hello, Cell Nation. I am Nate Marchand, the host of such podcasts as the Monster Island Film Vault and Henshin Power V3, the founder of tonight's feast, and the destroyer of Jacob.
I once was a man.
No, seriously, all I have to do to wreck Jacob and derail this entire podcast is just say diabetic Skeletor.
And we're already on that path tonight.
Oh my gosh, yes. Again, I will draw that if you do a clip of it.
If I clip that out. For those who don't know, go listen to my season premiere where these gentlemen joined me.
I think
Yes, Jimmy, I'm getting to that. It was over Ultraman The Adventure Begins, an animated Ultraman movie made by Hanna-Barbera, of all people, in same year as this, actually, if I remember right, 1987. And I brought them on because we're covering Ultraman movies on MIFV this season. The Ultra Journey is what we're calling it. And
then the diabetes joke landed in the VeggieTales episode.
Yes. We landed, I listened back to that episode and I'm like, I can follow the train of thought that got us here, but it's a very weird train.
Yes. Release it as a special episode.
It makes sense in context.
Yeah,
in context, yes. A very long context.
Oh my gosh.
To a point where I actually forgot about it until I heard your episode.
And then you talked about it.
Oh, it's like at that point.
You got to still promote, right?
Yes. But
Self-promotion. That's what we do around
that
here.
is.
So what are we watching today?
Well, since this is Nate's patron pick, why don't you tell us what we're watching?
We are
something action man, right? Action hero, action force, whatever.
Action dude,
He-Man and the saviors of the Autobots and Decepticons.
Thundercats roar.
I loved He-Man in Star Wars. Anyway, we're talking about G.I. Joe, the movie from 1987, because you guys already covered Transformers, the movie. Mm-hmm. So you may as well talk. So, you guys got to talk about the other movie made by basically the same team with some of the same cast members that was on the sister show to Transformers. You may as well. Now what you need to do to complete the trilogy.
The My Little Pony movie?
You got to do the My Little Pony movie.
Well, later this year we are doing a My Little Pony movie, just not that one.
But not My Little Pony the movie. Don't make me sponsor it. I've never seen it, never had a desire to see it, but I will to complete the set.
I have seen it. I've seen more ponies than I care to
mention. Surprise!
We're not going down that road just yet.
Okay, Jimmy, I get it. Jeez. I didn't really... Seriously, you're a brony? Don't want to talk about it. All right.
It's good to know that Jimmy enjoys the pretty pastel ponies learning about prestidigitation of companionship.
What he said. Anyway.
But yes, we are doing G.I. Joe.
Jacob is not surviving this episode.
No, he's not. We are doing G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. I'm using the full name, the movie. Why don't we go ahead and jump into the spoiler-free section?
Yes.
Certified fresh and spoiler-free.
Not only is this the first time I've watched this particular film, this is the first time I've watched anything related in any way, shape, or form to G.I. Joe.
Which
I went into this
baffles me.
Absolutely and utterly, completely blind. The only thing I knew connected to this is Cobra Commander, because how do you not know Cobra Commander? He's everywhere on the internet. Because he's discount Skeletor, for being honest.
Wow.
Whoa. Wait. Well, wow. Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Wow, coming out swinging.
And my only other knowledge of anything like this was on the website homestarrunner.com with the Cheat Commandos.
Cheat Commando.
Which we've also
Reviewed.
So this is my only knowledge of any of this. And
Oh my gosh.
and let me just say, going into this blind, I was lost with the exception of the first couple minutes. I think
Fair.
that I was able to go gung ho on. I don't mean the character.
Where is it? There you go.
But I was lost for a good half hour going, wait, who is what now? I just like, which one of these is actually the main G.I. Joe? I know no one's actually named G.I. Joe. I have expected someone to be.
Okay. Crash course in the hit.
I know Duke.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who Duke was.
Snake Eyes.
G.I. Joe.
I know Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes was in this.
Yes.
G.I. Joe is like Transformers. It's an ensemble.
Yes,
show.
it is.
In fact, I listened to the commentary. I watched this movie twice this week in preparation. One time with the commentary, and it was commentary by Buzz Dixon,
Mhm.
and which I'm going to have to, depending on what your info and stuff and all that says, I may have to clarify some things there.
Mhm.
But he was
He was
credited
story
as the
consultant
story
on
this.
consultant, but
Mhm.
I'll just say it now. He basically says, like, yeah, the only reason I didn't get listed as a screenwriter is because Ron Friedman had a contract
Yeah.
that
know
made
that.
him credited solely as writer, but he said basically he wrote the final draft of this script,
Yeah.
and almost nothing that Ron Friedman had came through, other than I think he said like Nemesis Enforcer was the only
Yeah, that was
thing
the,
that
that was the
carried
only
over.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he said that there were 86 speaking characters on G.I. Joe. And he said
Mhm.
that was the largest cast of
Yeah.
any cartoon other than Transformers.
Yes.
And he said later they were eclipsed by The Simpsons, which now has 300.
Yes. And I will say I am not reading every cast member on this. I did narrow
Thank
it
you.
down.
We'd be here for
otherwise
another
we-
hour.
Yeah, we would be here all night.
Yeah. So it's an ensemble show. But if you're talking
Right.
about, here's your
But-
crash course in the history of the character. Part of this I did not just find out until I went to an army surplus store in my hometown and I found World War II era
I'm gonna get
instructional
into that.
manuals.
I am going to get into the
Yeah.
whole where
Oh,
the
okay.
name G.I. Joe came from.
Okay, then never mind. We'll skip that part.
Because a certain person who was in this was in a movie from World War II about G.I. Joe. So
Okay.
Oh.
we will get to that.
Yeah. And fun fact, in the second live action G.I. Joe movie, Bruce Willis played the original G.I. Joe,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
which was interesting. But so you went into this
Yeah, I went into this completely
cold.
blind. I think I knew some characters from Osmosis besides
Fair.
besides Cobra Commander. Like I knew the Baroness on site because I'm sure. How do you not know
It's
the
the
Baroness on
Baroness.
site? I knew basically why each of the Joes was dressed up the way they were. I kind of knew this, like, okay, Cobra's the bad guys, the Joes are the good guys, and this is going to be America on television, at its greatest on television, basically.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah,
biggest
I-
army propaganda thing you could do at the time.
Which we will. I have some things related to that to say. I will say that this isn't one of my dislikes. I list it as a potential dislike, but I won't use it now. This is not a self-contained movie.
No, it is
it's
not.
No. Now, I
Kind
don't
of.
think you need to have seen as much of the show as, you don't have to have seen the entirety of the show before this.
Yeah.
Just seasons
Get
1 and
it?
2.
I would say, no, there was only 2 seasons at this point. I would say, like, if
yeah,
you had
The
seen
other
a
seasons are
matter-
after
if you-
this. And
Yeah,
we're
I would
by a different
say-
company.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say, which we'll talk about because, boy, howdy, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Deke seasons are a major step down, but I give them credit. They tried to follow up the movie. They didn't just do a reboot. They attempted to
Yeah.
do a follow-up. It's a weird follow-up, but
Can't-
they
tried.
did a follow-up. Yeah.
Right.
But
So
I would say if you had seen a smattering of season 1, if you had seen the 5-part season premiere of season 2, you would probably be able to follow this movie fine.
I did not. This was the first thing I watched. And granted, that first 5 minutes, I was like on board. It's like, oh yeah, go Joe, all that kind of stuff.
It's Yo-Jo, thank
Yo
you.
Yeah,
Joe, sorry.
Joe.
Yo
Come on.
Joe, go
Get
Joe,
it
whatever.
right.
Sometimes, some iterations they say Gojo and it's stupid. Anyway,
Yeah, agreed.
Either way, And then literally like the next scene, I'm completely thrown off by a credit that we'll get to. Because it's like, wait a minute, how does that work?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can explain.
At least what I too, because I had to look it up. I paused the movie to look it up.
Yeah. I think I know why. And like I said, we will explain.
We will explain when we get to the cast list.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like I watch it going, okay, who are these people? Why does this one guy look like he's got I don't know. It was I followed what happened. I'm not going to say you shouldn't go watch it, but yeah, definitely I think you should watch some other the couple of seasons before to know who is who in this.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. As much as I know you guys love Transformers the movie, but Transformers the movie is not self-contained either.
No, it's not.
No,
it
it's
is
not.
assuming knowledge too.
It is, but for whatever reason, maybe it's just because I've run into Transformers stuff more often. I feel like culturally, through cultural osmosis, you would actually know some of this stuff, especially around the times we were reviewing those episodes, because we did have the Bayformers era stuff, and Transformers has been constantly on television almost for 30 years now, 40 years now. Like it seems like every time I turn around, there's a new series of Transformers.
Oh yeah. Turtles
is the same way. I have watched very little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I know who all the characters. I know who all the main Turtles are.
Ninja Turtles benefits from having a much smaller cast.
It does.
That is so true.
Because don't ask me who half the villains are, but because I know very few. But this, I'm going into and going, okay, I don't like the first like for the most part, I followed the scenes with Cobra at the beginning. But the next scene where they're at the BET and I'm laughing my head off because like, isn't that the Black Entertainment Television Network?
I made that joke in my notes as well. Fun fact, according to Buzz Dixon, that was that.
And it predates it, I think.
But
Yes, it does. That doohickey was inspired by the work of Nikola Tesla.
No,
that makes sense.
I figured that. But all these people are talking and going, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. Oh, you sound like that rhyming guy on Cheat Commandos. I don't know you. It's like I followed one thing. It's like all I know is like you're a bunch of army men who are setting up this death laser, basically.
Death laser.
It's definitely a death laser.
Wait. Wasn't that a Frieza move?
that was Death Beam. That was Death Beam.
Death Beam.
But I would definitely say, as someone who went into this blind, did not know who any of these characters were, if you want to go watch G.I. Joe the movie, and you want to get past the amazing opening, you should watch the rest of some more of the other show just to know who these people are. Because for the most part, I was clueless, and I will admit from the first line of this, I was like out. So,
oh wow, okay.
I may not be the highest rating person on this episode.
Perhaps. And some of you might be wondering why the heck in case you missed when I announced this. Because when the last time I was on the show, I was like, here's my Patreon pick. Well, because I made you guys choose. And you picked this one without knowing it. And I was like, why did you pick this one? There are kaiju in this movie.
Yes, there are.
For all of a few minutes, but there are G.I. Joe fighting kaiju.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Snake kaiju.
Bug kaiju.
Yeah.
Oh,
the bug. That poor mantis.
Good night.
Oh, the poor mantis. That
we'll get to it, but
that is one because this is a childhood favorite of mine. I don't know how many times I've watched it. It might be up in the 10 range. I'm not sure. One of the weirdest ways that I watch this is, believe it or not, they split this up into 5 parts to show during the week on TV.
They used to do that at the time.
With brand new host segments featuring Sergeant Slaughter.
Of course.
It would introduce it and then do the preview for the next part. And then the show would be over. It was just, they just put it in rotation with reruns of the show. It was wild. So
That's how a lot of cartoons did stuff.
yeah,
back
so
then.
that was one way that I saw it, and then I've seen it since then. The uncut version. I own the Blu-ray. Which
I will say
the nice thing is the Blu-ray is actually in widescreen. I watched it once on Tubi, and it's the standard def version that's letterboxed,
which is the version I watched.
Which is unfortunate because it looks great in widescreen.
Because
I imagine
I found the opening on YouTube, which is ripped from the Blu-ray, and it's like, why is this not the version that's on Tubi?
Well, the weird thing is that the Shout Factory set that I have, which miraculously came to me undamaged because Shout Factory's quality control is the worst.
Tell me about it.
It included the DVD version, and the DVD version, for whatever reason, even though it has all the same special features but it has a different menu, that's in full frame, but the Blu-ray is wide.
I can understand that situation.
Yes.
But to explain why I never watched G.I. Joe, it just never came up on TV when I was watching. I was
we talked about this during the retro cartoon episode we did.
Yeah, I was a little old for the I was a little young for the show when it aired because I wasn't born.
Fair.
Or I was just barely born. And by the time we got to the 90s, I don't think any G.I. Joe was on TV at the time.
No, they were showing reruns.
Yeah, they were reruns.
And then G.I. Joe Extreme in the mid 90s. That didn't last long.
But that's in that weird era where it's like, well, there was nothing new, and that probably was something more interesting on another channel.
Yeah,
when it was on television. So
yeah.
And I just never got around to it, and I've still yet to even see the live action movies.
Oh, okay.
I didn't I wasn't not having nostalgia for G.I. Joe. I wasn't exactly in a hurry. Fair. And then you see that it's Michael Bay, or in the style of Michael Bay.
It's not Michael Bay.
But it's in the style of the Bayformers.
No, it's not. Not really. The first one.
Well, it came across that way.
Yeah, Rise of Cobra was a massive disappointment for me. Despite the fact that they had some brilliant casting in it, they did weird stuff with the characters.
Right. So
agreed.
It was never on my radar.
Christopher Eccleston was Destro. That should have been brilliant, but it was not. And then
wait. Don't you mean it should have been fantastic?
Yes, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Continue.
Yeah. And then the sequel, Retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
It's better. But they try to basically sweep the first movie under the rug, and they don't do it very well. And then I felt like they missed out completely, again, with their casting, because they cast Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Roadblock, that's the guy who speaks in rhyme.
Yeah.
And The Rock would do that when he was a professional wrestler. Sometimes he would speak in rhyme. I'm like, this is perfect casting. He does it in one scene and never does it again.
Yeah.
Because the writer probably thought it was stupid.
And when he did it, he was quoting song lyrics. I was like, talk about wasting what you have right there. What it's just it disappointed me.
Yeah.
So
let's go ahead.
But I will say this, and maybe I'll sponsor this sometime. The best G.I. Joe anything I've ever seen is G.I. Joe Resolute, which was a web series of like 3-minute episodes that got edited together into a complete movie. Absolutely fantastic.
Gotcha.
Jacob, what are your spoiler-free thoughts?
All right. So spoiler-free thoughts for G.I. Joe, the movie. I grew up a G.I. Joe fan. Yo, Joe. I watched this all the time with Transformers, with Thundercats. That was my childhood. Be like every weekday, weekend, what have you, watch this. I remember watching this as a very young child. I think we rented this because my baby brother was having eye surgery, and we rented that along with He-Man and She-Ra Secret of the Sword on the same night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've reviewed that too.
We have. I enjoyed this movie when I was a kid, because I think we watched it twice as a kid with children, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little bit odd. It was like, okay, this is cool. It's G.I. Joe. Okay, this is awesome. It's got the greatest opening ever for an animated movie ever. And then I watched it for this review, and again, great opening. Be like, I knew most of the characters. I can remember most of them. And then you start getting into the story where two plot lines, which probably shouldn't work together, really don't work that well. I watched it and I was like slightly disappointed. Just to be honest, I was slightly disappointed with how executed it was, because I understand they had two obligations they had to do with Cobra Law and all this other stuff had to make it make sense.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Buzz Dixon gets into that whole thing, and basically the reason why this movie is the way it is you've heard of Bandai mandates. These were Hasbro mandates.
These were mandates. Yeah.
These were Hasbro mandates. And what Buzz Dixon in the commentary explained what their original idea was going to be. And I'm like, you should have fought him because it sounds better than this. I spoiler warning, I don't think this is as good as Transformers the movie.
No.
It does. I don't think it holds up quite as well. And the other thing,
it could have if different decisions were made.
Yeah, it could have a different decision. If different decisions, good Lord,
it's weird.
They made it weird. And I will say this, Drew. I will say this for you, Drew. This movie is not an entirely accurate representation of the show.
No, it's not.
It is, which is weird because you could say the same thing about Transformers the movie, but it still feels of the show, even though they do a massive time jump and everything. But this actually does feel different than the show, because the show would get fantastical, get very pulpy,
which I would have been fine with,
and science fiction, all that, but not nearly this level of crazy.
Agreed. Because
and then the weird thing was when the Deke show started, other than the opening 5-parter, they did comparatively very mundane stories after that, much more down to earth. And that is one of many reasons why the Deke series is not as well liked. And the reception to this movie, from what I've been able to gather in the G.I. Joe fandom, is very mixed, which is weird.
I can imagine.
And I don't think that's really shifted all that much, which is interesting because the Transformers movie used to be hated by the fandom. Yeah. And now it's beloved.
Yeah, it's highly beloved.
Yeah. Yeah, which is just weird because G.I. Joe the movie did not experience that.
Well, the thing was, after they, spoiler for a 40-year-old movie now, that they killed off Optimus Prime in the movie, in which that shattered so many children's sent kids into nightmares for that. And so when Hasbro learned about this, is oh no, we have to do some changes, and we'll get that later. But at the same time,
that's going to come up later too.
Yeah, that's
I was going to say
never went to theaters.
There's a timeline for all of this.
I have a suspicion that some of our likes and dislikes are going to be the same.
Possibly.
That's why I always have backups just in case. But
that is fair.
But before we move on, hey Jimmy, you got any opinions on this?
I am convinced there.
Why am I not surprised that you would claim to have been a member of G.I. Joe? Of course you were.
I mean, at least he wasn't in Cobra.
Yeah, at least he wasn't in Cobra. What was your call sign, out of curiosity? Private Widget? Man, Slaughter must have had a heyday with you anyway.
That's unfortunate.
The very.
Wow. I guess all the good names were taken.
I guess.
So, despite the fact that you have definitely made your spoiler-free thoughts known throughout our spoiler-free thoughts,
I know.
What are your spoiler-free thoughts?
So
I've basically said all of them, because I kind of
did
over you guys, but
you did a little bit.
So, I broke protocol. Send me to the slaughterhouse right now.
Fair.
Give me a court martial. Send me to the slaughterhouse.
So
I'll be back in, I don't know, a couple of weeks.
Probably.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Nate.
There's a sound I haven't heard in a while. Anyway, yes.
That's true. So I was going to ask you, ever since you've already, kind of expounded upon it, be like, did you watch G.I. Joe as a kid?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good, because
it was if you listen to the Retro Cartoons episode that I did with Drew, was that during the Heron hiatus, or was that just like a one-off?
This was last year when I had Jacob had some emergency hospital stuff to take care of.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was when your dad was having the issues, or
No,
if that's when
I-
you were having the issues?
I was having the kidney issues.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The infamous
Right. And I
the
was-
infamous kidney problems. Anyway.
and I was just trying to
Yeah,
make sure
I
we
feel
had
like-
something going on.
I said in that episode that when I was a child, G.I. Joe was one of my top
Right.
3.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
just
it was
generally
that.
curious.
It was that plus Transformers plus Thundercats. Those were
Mhm.
those
Which
were
is
like
all
the
very
3
fair.
those were the 3 that little Nate enjoyed the most.
Oh yeah, He-Man.
Didn't get into He-Man weirdly.
Oh,
enough.
okay. I got into He-Man. I didn't really get into She-Ra as much because there again it was more of a girl show, but
Fair.
fair, it just wasn't my thing.
Mhm.
Except for Secret of the Sword. Love that. That was cool. I don't care how
Which-
the cheesy is all out,
I mean,
but I still love
that
it.
was basically let's introduce She-Ra so we can make a spinoff show.
Exactly. I cannot. I'll be like, honestly, I cannot wait until they finally do the third part for the He-Man Revelation Part 3, where they turn out Destra.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, come on, let's go, because we know they've got the cast, they know they've recorded everything, so let's just get it done.
Anyway,
Yes,
why don't we go ahead and jump into the spoiler-filled section of this review?
yes.
The following is a spoiler-filled review for the film G.I. Joe. Listener discretion is advised. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, the movie, was directed by Don Jurwich, who also directed many episodes of the Spider-Man 1981 television series.
Yes.
Mm.
It was written by Don Friedman, Buzz Dixon, and Roger Slifer.
Oh, so they actually include all of the proper credits.
Well, IMDb had it separated by the different things. I just combined them all into one because
Yeah,
it makes
because
things
like I
easier.
said, listening to the commentary, Buzz Dixon said like he basically wrote the final draft of the script, and it's very different than what Friedman had.
Yeah, it is based on the original, the G.I. Joe action figure series of toys originally created by Stan Weston, and the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero television series developed by Ron Friedman, Steve Gerber, and Buzz Dixon.
Yeah, Steve Gerber of
Yeah.
comic book fame,
Mm,
creator of Howard the Duck.
that is true. Oh my gosh.
That actually explains some stuff.
Yeah.
And you did not mention that G.I. Joe goes farther back than that, but
Getting
It does.
to that.
Yeah.
okay.
No,
got
I
it.
did because technically I started with the G.I. Joe action figures
No, it
that were created by Stan Weston. But if you're talking about the other term, I'll get into that when we get to a certain cast member.
Got it. That's right. I forgot. Anyway,
Yes.
moving on.
Getting into the cast, Lieutenant Falcon was played by Don Johnson.
Yeah. So this is
And
like
he was
they were trying to do.
Hang on, he played Detective James Crockett on the television series Miami Vice.
Oh, and he was. I remember. I didn't see Miami Vice. I remember he had a show in the '90s that I caught for a while, where he was also a cop. I can't remember what it's called. Nash Bridges. That's what it was.
Nash
Nash Bridges.
Nash Bridges. But this is like Transformers the movie. They were
Mhm.
breaking the mold
Mhm.
here, and we're getting actual celebrities to voice the characters.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Cobra Commander, Ripper, and Gung Ho were voiced by Chris Latta, who's apparently also goes by Christopher Collins on IMDb. And he was Starscream on Transformers.
That's not surprising at all.
It's not. He
It's
was.
the same voice.
Yeah, it's the same voice.
Yeah.
He was actually a stand-up comedian as well.
Really?
I could see that.
Yeah.
Serpentor. Serpentor was voiced by Dick Gautier. And he was Hot Rod in Rodimus Prime in the Transformers.
In
I
the
don't-
show, not
in
the
the
movie.
show.
The show. In the
In
show.
the show.
Not the movie, but the show.
Yes.
Yeah, because like I
For
said, these were
clarification.
made by the same people, so there's a lot of
Right.
crossover.
A lot of
between-
crossover.
between the cast and the
Mhm.
writers and everything.
Galo-
Animation studio. they're
Yeah.
both- yeah.
Globulus was played by Burgess Meredith,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
who was Amon in Clash of the Titans, Mickey in Rocky, and the Penguin in Batman 1966.
And that was like, oh, this will hopefully make Drew happy. Maybe.
I mean, he was, from an acting point of view, one of the brighter spots of this film.
I looked him up really quick, and he's considered to be one of the most accomplished actors of the 20th century.
But
that's true.
apropos to this, he also played the character of Ernie Pyle in the movie The Story of G.I. Joe from the 1940s about that took place about the actual soldier. It was a docudrama basically about soldiers in World War II.
Oh,
I did
And
not know
technically
this.
That is where the term, G.I. Joe comes
that's
from.
right. Yeah.
The term, the slang term used for soldiers, because it would be General Issue Joe,
Yeah.
and that was made popular outside of the military by that film.
Yeah, well, I also know I was going to bring up. I was at an Army surplus store in
Mhm.
my hometown, and I found these instructional manuals, World War II era, that were given to soldiers. And
Mhm.
there was this soldier character who was supposed to, because they had these little illustrations, and it was explaining
Mhm.
how you do certain things when you're in the army or whatever. And
Yeah.
the character's name in those manuals, and it said it on the current cover, was G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Fun fact for that,
And
because
Burgess Meredith actually was in a bunch of the GI training videos back during World War II too. So
and also a fun fact, most of those manuals and pamphlets were drawn by Disney artists.
So there's all this connective tissue.
Oh yeah, connected to shoot
Yes.
a lot of them.
Jinx was voiced by Shuko Akune, and this is not the 90s ER show. This was an 80s one.
Oh, okay.
She played Maria Amardo.
Hmm.
Duke, Zamont, Lift Ticket, and Blowtorch were voiced by Michael Bell, and he was Prowl in The Transformers.
Mhm.
Nice.
I met him at a convention.
Really?
Sergeant Slaughter was played by Sergeant Slaughter, and he was Sergeant Slaughter in WWF.
Yes.
Oh, now
Literally,
WWE.
that's all that's his entire career right there in
Okay,
one line.
okay.
This was the line that confused me when I saw it.
All right, here's my personal interpretation. This is
Okay.
what
His
why I
real name
think
is-
they.
His
what-
real name is Bob Remus, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Bob Remus, and Buzz Dixon told the whole story about where the wrestling
Mhm.
Sergeant Slaughter, the wrestling character, came from. It's really interesting. But here's my personal interpretation of this. I think what they're saying is that this is Sergeant Slaughter, the wrestler, playing Sergeant Slaughter, the G.I. Joe character, because they are not exactly the same.
No.
That's true.
So that's why it's not Sergeant Slaughter as himself, because the
Right.
G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter is a little different.
Yes.
A little bit.
Different
But-
enough. And or
But
it might have also
admittedly, though, when I was watching those opening credits, and I'm seeing Don Johnson as Lieutenant Falcon, and Burgess Meredith as a Globulus,
Globulus.
and then
Stupid
Sergeant
name,
Slaughter
by the
as
way.
Sergeant Slaughter, and I'm going, wait, what?
Yeah. Because and I think it might also be a contract thing, because
Right.
Sergeant Slaughter had to quit WWF at the time
Yes,
to
it was
be
a
on the show. He was contacted
Mm-hmm.
by the people making sure he showed, because his character showed up in season 2.
Yeah.
So they contacted him and said, "Hey, we want to make a toy out of your wrestling persona and have you on the cartoon." He wanted to jump at it immediately. He's like, "I want to do this."
Right. But
But
WWF
WWE
or F.
wouldn't let him do it unless you can't do that while you're wrestling. So he quit wrestling while he was on the show so he could be in the toy line and be on the cartoon, and it was all because WWE had licensed their toys to a different company other than Hasbro.
That makes
Right.
sense.
But that does
So
bring up an
That's how
interesting
dedicated
question.
he was to this.
That does bring up an interesting question, because I know that Dwayne Johnson cannot be credited as The Rock
Mhm.
unless WWE signs off on it.
Yes.
He has to be credited as Dwayne Johnson. So how did he get away with still being Sergeant Slaughter? How
It
much
was
did
the
Hasbro
80s.
pay WWE
that I
for
don't-
that?
That I don't know. I don't know the legalities of all that, but I
Right.
think that might have been a contributor to it. But I also think as they're making a
It had to
distinction,
have
it's like
been.
the wrestler and the G.I. Joe character are not exactly the same.
Mhm.
Right.
They're
right.
very similar, but they are not the same.
Right. Beachhead was played by Bill Calloway. And the thing he is on the most as a single character was on the Smurfs as Clumsy Smurf.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I couldn't pass that one up. General Hawk was played by Ed Gilbert. And on Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, he played Emperor Gorganis.
Oh my gosh. I keep
He
hearing
was the
about that.
main villain in that
Yes!
travesty of Tokusatsu.
Yes, he was. And that's probably the only time I'll get away with talking about tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills until we get to that one episode of Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Oh yeah,
Really?
go on.
People. You do not understand.
It's the worst one. It's the worst Power Rangers.
Out of
clone.
all of
them.
the attempts to cash in on Power Rangers,
It's the very worst one.
Worse.
Which is saying something.
it was completely American produced, and they clearly had no idea how to make tokusatsu.
No.
Clearly. Ugh. Anyway,
It
Moving right
hurt
along.
to even think about it. And the insane thing is, I saw the DVD set for that show jump from dirt cheap to one kidney almost overnight.
So
Nick should wish you bought it when it was dirt cheap.
here's the
I
question.
thought it was overpriced when it was dirt cheap.
Yes, but now you could have had a pretty penny.
That is true.
That is
So-
true.
So here's the question: be like, would you rather have that or Mask Rider?
Masked Rider.
I'm sorry. I pulled a
I mean,
Jimmy,
I'd
and
rather
I
have
just pulled.
Kamen
I just
Rider
pulled.
Black.
Black RX.
Black RX, yeah.
I just pulled a Jimmy and PTSD'd to, of all things, the Titanic episodes.
Yes. Furbus will do that to a person.
Yes.
My brain
You're
is still
welcome, Oaks.
reconstituting, so moving right along. Dig-a-doom, dig-a-doom.
Roadblock was played by Kenny Holliday, and he was Tyler Hudson in Matlock.
Hmm.
Oh.
Big Lob was played by Brad Sanders, and he was Tequila and Benetti.
What?
I don't know what it is either. This was the basketball player guy in the new recruits.
Oh my gosh, him. Yeah, that's right.
Destro was played by Arthur Bernhardt, and he was Devastator in Transformers.
Yes.
Again, a lot of crossover.
A lot of crossover.
Pythona was played by Jennifer. Pythona,
Oh.
whatever, was played by Jennifer Darling, and she was Irma Langenstein in Teenage Mutant
Oh
Ninja
my
Turtles.
God.
Oh my gosh, I can't. How did I
Wow.
not pick up on that?
Oh my, yeah, you're not kidding. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
In my
frick.
defense, I had to look up who she
from,
was.
she
'cause
went
it's like,
from
oh,
the.
I remember this person who looks like they escaped Alvin and the Chipmunks.
So
turned
you're
into a
telling
human.
you're telling me this woman had such range she could play the mousy little office girl and a reptilian femme fatale.
Yes.
Wow.
Law was played by Ron Ortiz, and this is his only credit.
Huh.
Poor guy, because it's very obvious they were setting up for these characters to continue,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah,
didn't until
and-
another show, and they didn't. And I bet you they didn't
Another
use these
season.
characters.
Yeah, and spoiler warning. I think.
And this guy never got another acting role in his life.
Well, I'm just thinking it's like I don't think any of the characters introduced in this movie ever came back. And irony of ironies, as we'll get into, a certain character who was supposed to die, who doesn't
Yeah.
die,
Yes.
even when they
Oh my
did,
gosh.
even when Deke did its revival and it made ostensibly made seasons 3 and 4,
Uh-huh.
he's hardly in it.
That is true. So true.
It is so weird. It is so weird.
Agreed. Continue.
Dr. Mindbender was played by Brian Cummings. And do you remember on all those 90s Disney trailers?
Oh my gosh.
The voice say, coming soon on Disney DVD and all that kind of stuff. That's
that was
that
Jim
guy.
Cummings.
That's
It's
that
him.
guy. That's Brian Cummings.
Brian
Wow.
Cummings. Wow.
Like,
Is he related to Jim?
Jim?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The Baroness was played by Morgan Lofting, and she was Aunt May in the 1981 Spider-Man cartoon.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Spider-Man and his Amazing
That's
Friends?
the second person who from
No,
this
no,
was
the
in
one
there.
before that.
Oh, okay.
No, not in it. The director worked on it.
Yeah.
That's what it
Oh,
was.
okay.
Xandar, Nemesis Enforcer and a Scientist, was played by Peter Cullen. Of course, he was Optimus Prime in the Transformers.
Mhm.
The voice,
But
one
he's
of the
voice
voices.
of King Kong in 1976 as King Kong, and he was uncredited.
Yes,
I had to get that in there before you said it.
and he was the Predator.
So there you go.
There you go. He was basically one of the voices of my childhood.
Fair. So I do have to say, like, you did miss one of the characters as a child I love to death, Scarlet.
I don't remember Scarlet in this.
Scarlet's in it.
Oh, Scarlett's in it.
redhead.
She doesn't talk.
She says
You
one
blink
thing.
and you blink and you miss her.
Yeah, she's barely in it, but like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Because I mean, honestly, I had a crush on Scarlet when I was a kid, like a little kid.
Okay.
I don't remember Scarlet as much as I do Lady J for some odd reason in the show.
Okay, I know who you're talking about now that I've got
Yeah,
a picture
the
of her up.
redhead with the crossbow.
And yeah, she barely has a role in this.
Yes.
Yeah, like Major
Uh,
Blood, one of the Cobras, is only in the opening.
Yeah.
Then he
fair.
just disappears.
This is his beers. Completely understandable.
I was gonna be nice and bring it up, but I can't find it fast
Yeah,
enough.
no worries.
so-
No worries.
Kingdom Hearts connections.
Yes.
How many we got?
Yeah. Nate.
With this large of a cast, albeit it's like 15 years before Kingdom Hearts even started.
Not that that matters, but continue.
Yeah, baby. 3.
Jake.
5.
Good. 5. Okay. Anyone in the chat? Artsy says 3. The answer is
1, 2, 5. 30, sir. Eat it, Roy.
the answer is 4.
4. Okay.
Or how did
4.
that was not planned?
And the fun part of this, I haven't mentioned any of their names yet.
Oh, I'm not surprised because one of them was
It's
Frank
from,
Welker.
it's from that
Frank
extended
Welker.
cast.
Frank Welker, who was Torch and Wild Bill in this.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he was in Kingdom Hearts. That's at least
Right.
one.
He's Abu and Experiment 221 Sparky in Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-huh.
That's because half of this man's career is voicing animals.
But the fact
That
that,
is
he's
true.
only only has 2 roles in all of Kingdom Hearts is crazy to me. Rob Paulson
Surprise.
was Snowjob in this. And
Yeah,
he
he has
is
like 2 lines.
He was Jacques and the Grand Duke in Kingdom Hearts and Gray Fox in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Smash Bros. Ultimate is a Kingdom Hearts game. Corey Burton,
Mm-hmm.
who was Tomax in this. In Kingdom Hearts, he played Captain Hook, the White Rabbit, Doorknob, Flotsam, Jetsam, Diz, Ansem the Wise, Dale, Yensid, Master Control Program, Santa Claus, Sark, Shan Yu, the Peddler, and the Magic Mirror.
So
Whew.
half the cast. Got it.
No, that's not even half the cast. That's maybe a 30-second. He picked up a lot of roles that the celebrities left when they decided not to return.
Right.
Like Christopher Lee. His 2 roles.
Continue.
Lastly, Greg Berger, who was Motor Viper in this. I have no idea who that was. He is Eeyore in Kingdom Hearts.
Uh
You
And
know
that
who
brings
else?
me
You know who else he was?
Who else?
Who?
Me, Grimlock.
Yes, he was.
He
Grimlock.
was Grimlock.
And I have met him too.
And that brings me to the end of the Kingdom Hearts connections. Jacob, what do we got in info and stuff?
All right. So info and stuff. IMDb has a 5.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is a 33 and its audience score is 50.
Wow.
You can rent it on Amazon Video for $3.99. Physical media, you can buy it for $18.99. It's a 4K digital Blu-ray on Amazon Prime.
Wait.
Let me ask you
Production-
this.
There's a
Before you go on-
4K?
Before you go on,
Was
hang on. What? On the Amazon one, now, is that the version you watched?
No,
You watched the Tubi like I did.
maybe.
So you don't know if the Amazon one on Amazon was widescreen or
No,
Full
this is the
stream
info
on
I'm looking.
Amazon?
This is Amazon. This is the information I looked up.
so okay. That's why I was. If
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
the
yeah.
Are
widescreen,
you
that would
talking
be the
about
one I
s-
suggested.
Are you talking about streaming or the Blu-ray?
I'm talking about purchasing.
Oh,
Purchasing
I
the
thought you were
physical
talking
media.
about the digital version. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
physical media. Physical media.
Yeah,
It's gonna
I
be
was
to
like, it's a Blu-ray, right?
stream
Not
it, it's
4K?
$3.99 on Amazon.
Okay.
All right. So production was Paramount Pictures, Sky Glass Entertainment, Hasbro Studios, Deadly
Hang on. Is
Distribution.
this the Rise of Cobra?
It might be.
I don't. Because Paramount
You
was not
motherfucker! I was
involved in
like, how
this.
does this have a 4K? There is no 4K.
You're lucky there's a 1080p.
You're welcome.
I was like,
Thank
okay,
you, Paul T. Rhodes.
you know what? That was the best one you've ever done because the numbers that you had were reasonable. The
They were.
giveaway was
Yes.
the 4K.
For me, it took until he said Paramount Pictures, and I went, now wait a minute. This never went to theaters.
No, it didn't.
Actually,
Or not till much later.
Much later. Much
I was
later.
gonna
went to
say, I
theaters.
was like, don't make me well actually for you on this. Anyway.
That's my line.
It went later because of Fathom events.
Yeah.
But
I wish I would have seen that. That would have been
I kind of
fucking
wish I
amazing.
had to because I think
Yeah.
this would have been a weird but
It'd
interesting.
been a treat.
it would have been worth it for the first 5 minutes in a theater.
Oh, yeah, you're not
Oh,
kidding.
geez. Anyway,
Anyways, go to the real info and stuff. Info and stuff has a 7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has a 43 out of 43, and its audience score is 66. You can watch it for free on Tubi. You can buy the physical media for $23.99. That's a Blu-ray on Amazon Prime.
Blu-ray DVD combo. So
Yes.
if that seems
Mhm.
pricey, you get 2 discs.
Yeah, fair.
And the DVD has DVD-ROM features. You can read the script. You can download the script from the DVD and read it.
Nice.
Assuming you have a DVD-ROM drive on
Drive.
your computer,
Still,
which in this day and age, this one
Still.
doesn't.
yes. All right. Production was Hasbro, Sunbow Entertainment, Marvel Productions, Toei Animation.
Mhm.
Distribution for its home video release, that's many years later, was Celebrity Home Entertainment. Its runtime was a whole 93 minutes. It was rated G. Originally, it was
G?
released-
No freaking way.
Sheesh!
Artsy, clip that.
Oh my word!
Somebody was not expecting.
I was not.
Gee!
I was like, there's no way this got a G rating. No way. They were even told to go for a PG rating. And
It
then
might have been
weirdly enough,
PG.
they got and then
Yeah,
weirdly enough,
look
they
this
got
up, please.
and then weirdly enough, they got squeamish about some things.
According to Google, it was not rated
Who say?
because it probably never got sent to.
It was
the
never put in
MPAA to
theater,
do
so it
it.
never got a rating.
So it never got a rating. So there's no way it was G.
Well, I think that was left over from my last ones, and I just forgot to do it. So
I don't
just
think
put G.
that one was G either.
Fantasia?
Oh, Fantasia might have been
Yeah,
G.
Fantasia was G. Fantasia 2000 was G.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, now I have my hearing again.
A
A movie that doesn't have a rating, it's not G, was released.
So you
on-
can't rate it. You can't rent it at a Blockbuster
No,
unless you're an adult.
no.
Like anime.
Yes. They didn't stop kids before. Oh my gosh, Blockbuster, I missed the release date was April 20th, 1987. Box office didn't have one.
Unless you count
Much
the
later.
Fathom event.
Yeah,
Yes.
unless you put Fathom events. Home Entertainment, Rhino Entertainment first released the film on DVD in 2000 in June 20th that year.
Mm-hmm.
In 5.1 remaster remix, rhinoscopic sound, which contain bonus features. Shop Factory released the film a remastered special edition DVD Blu-ray on July 27th, 2010, featuring audio commentary as Nathan has spoken of before. Story consultant and what have you by Buzz Dixon, and principal copy of the original script, like Nate said. So that's all I have for info and stuff.
Yeah, and they also the special features on the Blu-ray and DVD also included like some of the PSAs and
Mm-hmm.
some others. I think the trailer was it the trailer? I could be wrong on that, but they had a few other special features that were more connected to the show. than
Oh,
the
okay.
movie.
That's fair.
Fair.
Getting into the summary. While Cobra Commander and Serpentor blame each other for each other's stewardship of Cobra as the root cause of their organization's failures, Pythona, a woman from the secret civilization Cobra Law, infiltrates the Terrordrome. While there, she reveals to Serpentor that Cobra Law was responsible for inspiring Dr. Mindbender to create him through dream manipulation. At her urging, Serpentor plans to capture G.I. Joe's latest weapon, the Broadcast Energy Transmitter, or
That makes
BET. Cobra assaults the Joes as they test the BET in the Himalayas. The Joes use the BET to activate their automated weapon systems. Serpentor is captured and Cobra Commander orders a retreat. Cobra Commander leads his troops into Cobra Law, the hidden underground city that serves as their headquarters. As the Joes celebrate their victory, a new group of rookie Joes are brought onto the team. The newcomers include the allegedly clumsy female ninja Jinx, military police officer Law and his dog Order, former basketball player Big Lob, EOD specialist Tunnel Rat, and undercover officer Chuckles, and Duke's reckless half-brother, Lieutenant Falcon, who is a Green Beret.
You didn't mention what their name is. They're the Rawhides.
Oh yeah, the
They're
Rawhides.
How is this guy from what was he, Special Forces or what?
Green Berets is special.
Green
forces,
Beret.
yeah.
How is he a Green Beret being this much of a turd?
Good question. I know
Anyways.
why he's not a Green Beret anymore.
That is true.
Nothing to
Continue.
do with joining G.I. Joe.
No. Go ahead.
In Cobra Law, 7 of the Joes are ambushed and detained within the Lovecraftian living environment.
Including Scarlet.
The Cobra soldiers are met by the civilization's leaders, Globulus, who was Pythona, and his other henchman, Nemesis Enforcer. They arrest Cobra Commander. While there, Cobra learns about their history. 40,000 years ago, Cobra Law was a prehistoric civilization that ruled Earth. However, the Ice Age, the evolution of humans, and their development of scientific technology resulted in Cobra Law survivors being forced into caverns within the Himalayas. Cobra Law rebuilt their society in secret as centuries passed. Globulus vowed to destroy humanity so that his people could reclaim the Earth. He eventually discovered a nobleman who was working on biological weapons. The nobleman later became Cobra Commander, charged with conquering the world for Cobra Law. However,
It
Cobra
left
Commander
out the part about how he scarred himself with his own experiments.
Exactly.
However, Cobra Commander's repeated failures caused Globulus to use a psychic motivator on Dr. Mindbender to create Serpentor. Meanwhile, a disguised Zarana uses Falcon to infiltrate Serpentor's holding cell. Falcon is put on guard duty by his older half-brother
Wait.
Duke.
Did you say Falcon or Serpentor?
Falcon is put on guard duty of
Okay.
Serpentor's
Yeah,
holding
Falcon.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And we know that's going to go well.
cell. Yeah. By his older half-brother Duke as a punishment for skipping the training earlier. Yeah, that's why he was on that. Not because he brought in Zarana.
He didn't know
the
it was
base.
Serrano. He just thought it was a cute blonde.
That's fair.
This still should not have been allowed anywhere near
Yeah,
his base.
Obviously, it shouldn't have been allowed, but he did not know that it was an enemy agent, or that
But that's
the bad
why
guys
he
would
was
do
on
all
guard
of the
duty.
or
Because
that,
he's
or
like, it
that-
had nothing to do with him skipping training. It was all about that.
Ooh la la.
yeah. And then everything he said, oh yeah, there's no way they'd be able to do it unless they do X, Y, Z. As we watched them do exactly that.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, idiot.
Falcon abandons his post to flirt with Jinx, while the
Surprise,
Dreadnoughts
surprise.
and Nemesis Enforcer free Serpentor, injuring Alpine, Bazooka, and Gung Ho in the process. General Hawk lectures Falcon on dereliction of duty and confines him to his quarters until court-martial. In Cobra Law, Cobra Commander is tried, and Globulus reveals his plans to launch spore pods filled with mutative spores into space and use the BET to hatch them, thus dooming humanity. He punishes Cobra Commander for his repeated failures following his trial by exposing him to the spores, which transform Cobra Commander into a giant snake. He flees and makes his way to the Joe's camp with Roadblock. Convinced by Duke to spare Falcon from harsh punishment, General Hawk reassigns Falcon to the Slaughterhouse, where he is to be retrained by Sergeant Slaughter and his renegades, consisting of ex-Viper Mercer, former basketball player Red Dog, and former acrobat Taurus. On a weaponless recon mission in the Terrordrome, the five learn of Cobra's plans and that the Baroness has discovered the location of the BET. As Falcon and the others destroy the Terrordrome, Cobra launches an assault on the Joes. The Joes launch a counterattack on Cobra, but the BET is stolen. Serpentor attempts to kill Falcon, but Duke intervenes and falls into a coma. Falcon, the Renegades, and the new recruits head to the Himalayas to stop Cobra Law. The G.I. Joe team is led to Cobra Law's lair by Cobra Commander. The new recruits prove themselves valuable soldiers as the Joes rescue their captured teammates. Falcon, Jinx, and Sergeant Slaughter confront Globulus, Pythona, and Serpentor. The ensuing fight culminates in Jinx and Slaughter sending Pythona and Nemesis Enforcer falling to their apparent demise. Finally, Falcon sends Serpentor out of Cobra Law and reconfigures the BET to incinerate the spore pods in space and destroying Cobra Law as Globulus escapes. Immediately following the battle, the strike team received news that Duke has come out of his coma and is recovering.
Did I mention this movie is nuts?
You're not kidding.
Getting into the trivia. This movie's opening sequence with the G.I. Joe soldiers saving the Statue of Liberty from the Cobra invaders was originally intended to be the climax in earlier drafts.
Oh, that is contradicted by Buzz Dixon. Buzz Dixon said that this opening was not in the script at all. It was added because the animators wanted an action opening.
Fair.
Well,
Because it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Right. Well, it has nothing to do with it, but apparently, according to the trivia I got, it was in an earlier draft. But anyway,
that must be some early trivia.
Yeah, the director and storyboard artist decided to salvage it and turn it into the film's opening, so newcomers could understand the premise of the series and to justify Serpentor shouting at his underlings in the following scene, as in the final drafts of the script open on Cobra Island, and Serpentor shouting at them for no discernible reason.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
But yeah, I could also see them adding this in at the last minute, because this seems to be where most of the budget went.
Yes.
At least what I saw. When Sergeant Slaughter uses the term ditty bag to illustrate Lieutenant Falcon's pass or fail, ditty, spelled D-I-T-Y, is military jargon for do-it-yourself. When a soldier out-processes from an installation for discharge or another assignment.
I did not know that.
Wow.
But Buzz Dixon was a story consultant on the show. Occasionally would write some of the episodes. He also worked on the Deke show.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason why he was brought on is because he was in the Army for 6 years.
That makes sense.
So he understands how the military works, which is why, as crazy as G.I. Joe would get, where it's like, it's like an animated 80s action movie for children, there's a ring of truth to it because they actually talked to people who knew. He was their military consultant, and Larry Hama, who created the comic books, was also a veteran. So that's how he was able to bring a semblance, a verisimilitude, to use the big literary words.
Continue.
The movie was being produced by the same company and at the same time as The Transformers, the movie, 1986. This has been agreed that both movies would suffer the loss of their lead heroes, Optimus Prime and Duke. Production had begun on G.I. Joe first and was thus expected to be released first. During the production of the two movies, G.I. Joe got held up while Transformers finished production. Release dates were changed, and Transformers got a theatrical release in 1986. Optimus Prime's death sparked some controversy. And caused the writers to change Duke's death to a coma.
Oh my God.
G.I. Joe never got to the theaters and was released to video instead. Had G.I. Joe been released first, there's a good chance Optimus Prime might have survived that movie. However, according to story consultant Buzz Dixon, if you watch the Duke goes into a coma sequence, and I do agree with this, with the volume turned down, it's obvious that Duke actually died at the end of the scene.
Yeah, and in his commentary, when we got to that part, he proceeded to quote a long passage from the famous Monty Python Dead Parrot sketch, replacing the parrot with Duke. It was gold. Also, he had, I'm sure you'll get to some trivia about the name Cobra Law, but he had
It's actually the next one.
Okay, get to that, because he had a funny nickname for Cobra Law in the commentary.
The name Cobra Law was not intended to be in the movie. The writers planned to replace this name when they came up with a better name, but Hasbro fell in love with it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a placeholder name.
Hasbro.
It inspired by Shangri-La from Lost Horizon, the novel, and they weren't gonna. It was like, oh, it's just a placeholder name. But for some odd reason, Hasbro loved it. So in the commentary, Buzz Dixon said, "Well, I probably should have used a different name that they wouldn't have liked." And the thing is he would catch himself not doing it, so he would correct himself, and then sometimes he would remember to do it. So throughout the commentary, he referred to Cobra Law as Granny's Body House.
This is entirely why, whenever you're working on a creative project for somebody else who does not have a creative bone in their body, never give them a good name, a half-decent name. Give them something that is absolute garbage that no one will like, or at least try to come up with a better name, because they might use it.
That is true.
Yeah. Buzz Dixon also said, you'll hear bits of it. I don't know if this is in your trivia or not. Is there anything in there about the trills? The trill sounds?
No.
Okay.
You
He
mean the things
also
that sounded like Afghani terrorists?
yes, they're minions. He wanted them to sound like really high pitched, make high pitched trill noises. He compared it to he said in Lawrence of Arabia there are Arab women who would make noises like that. They said we never could get them to quite do it, and then they were supposed that infamous battle cry was supposed to be the trill sound, but they said the problem was Mr. Gaudier, his voice was way too deep to do it properly. So it came out like it did.
Yeah. Globulus, Nemesis Enforcer.
Okay. Globulus is a stupid, incredibly 80s name. I just want to say that.
It is.
But him, Nemesis Enforcer, and a Royal Guard were part of a 3-pack of action figures released in 1987. Pythona did not receive an action figure until the G.I. Joe Collectors Club released one in 2016.
Not surprising.
Yeah, weird. Also,
that's because toys with girls in them don't sell.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. Also, Globulus, I will admit, as stupid and very 80s as that name sounds, according to Buzz Dixon, the name would have made a ton more sense if they had used the original character design that they had.
Fair.
Where he was going to be, very, as he put it, very corpulent. Sounds like he would have been probably been inspired by Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking of. That's Baron Harkonnen from Dune.
Yeah, where he was going to be this really fat dude who's floating around on his little throne thing, and then would shock everybody at the end of the movie where he's suddenly moving around really fast.
It just occurred to me that that's probably who Jabba the Hutt was based on.
Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah,
probably.
Surprised me. So yeah,
it just crossed my mind. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when I heard this, like, that makes way more sense, and I think I would have been a little more willing to accept that name.
Yeah,
nice job. I give Burgess Meredith credit. He really sells that character. He sells that character.
Burgess Meredith always goes 110%, no matter how stupid the role is.
That is
true. But I'm like, that name. Like, I can work with the other names. But Globulus, I'm like, come on. This sounds like something you lob that's gross and slimy. It's like something a little brother throws at his sister, you know?
After Duke yells at him, Falcon tells him he's an officer and he's pulling rank, which references the fact that Falcon technically outranks Duke since he's a lieutenant and Duke is a first sergeant.
How?
The only reason Duke can order Falcon around is because he's officially the second in command of G.I. Joe.
That is true, but how? How's this goober?
Why have they not promoted Duke yet? I have no idea.
No, how did Falcon, who apparently is an imbecile, be like got the rank of that and actually outranks his brother? How?
I don't know. By the way,
Falcon is an officer and Duke is a infantryman.
I'm aware, but how?
Yeah. Anyway,
there's people in all things, but anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your trivia about the character designs for the Renegades?
No.
Okay, I'll throw this in there really quick. They modeled the Renegades appropriately after professional wrestlers.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So in case you're wondering, so one of them, I can't remember all of them. The bald guy was modeled after the Iron Sheik. The Mercer, the ex Cobra guy, was not a wrestler, but he was modeled after Dolph Lundgren.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, you could definitely tell once you know that. And then let me double check my notes. Buzz Dixon mentioned this. The other guy was modeled after Jimmy Superfly Snuka. But they're like, Sergeant Slaughter's a professional wrestler. We'll model the other guys after professional wrestlers.
That makes sense.
It does. Definitely fits this team.
Despite being one of the new G.I. Joes and his file card describing him as a smooth-talking CIA undercover operative, Chuckles never says a single word in this movie.
Which I think is the joke. But I can tell you right now, and this movie is probably one of the biggest testaments to this. The comics by Larry Hama that were being published by Marvel at the time go in very different directions than the cartoon.
They always do.
The Transformers did, but G.I. Joe
Mhm.
was even more drastic,
Mhm.
as I'm sure I probably will bring up when we get to our discussion proper.
Yes.
And all this Cobra Law nonsense, not in the comics. And in fact, I think
That's a good thing.
I read that the Cobra Law characters, I think Larry Hama snuck some sort of a reference to these characters just to make fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprising.
If I remember right. And yeah, like everything that this movie does is incredibly different, and the stuff that they did, a lot of the stuff they did in season 2, especially with Serpentor, Serpentor's in the comics, but he's different than he is in the show.
So I've only got 2 more bits of trivia left.
Yeah. Let me check my notes.
Later on, during Deke's tenure on the animated series, Falcon continues his role as the team screw-up. He becomes addicted to drugs peddled by one of G.I. Joe's enemies, the Headman, and has to go through rehab.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
My gosh. It makes sense they would do that. It totally makes sense they would during the 80s.
Lastly, this is the last animated film produced by Marvel Productions, which is now called Marvel Animation until Ultimate Avengers the movie in 2006, which we have reviewed.
Yes.
All right.
And we wish we hadn't.
Yeah. I'll throw a few more that I got from the commentary for you guys.
Okay.
So there were actually 2 scenes in this movie that Buzz Dixon said, for whatever reason, once they got to storyboarding it, people got squeamish and they had him cut it. Or at least one was when they storyboard. I think the other one they had to edit. The scene when Zorana leaves and then takes off her disguise.
She was supposed to be naked.
She was supposed to be topless and you see her from behind because Hasbro told them go for a PG rating. So they did that, but then they got squeamish. So they had to put in a magic swimsuit that appears out of nowhere.
Yes, because that makes perfect sense when you're changing clothes.
Yes. And there you can tell because they had to edit around it when Falcon is fighting Globulus and he grabs that little scepter thing that he has. Stabs him in the eye, in that artificial eye, but they had to edit around it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They got squeamish for those, but not for all the other disturbing things that are in this movie.
Right.
I don't understand that. And let's see. Dixon said that the idea in this, when Roadblock gets blinded and has to cart Cobra Commander around, that was inspired by a screenplay idea he had that was inspired by a movie called The Defiant Ones that was about a white bigot who had to carry a crippled black man away from a forest fire, so they were completely dependent on each other. He never got the screenplay written, but he threw that idea into here. Because his idea was the bigot and the black man.
Right.
The movie the movie he was referencing was a little different. And let's see what other things that he mentioned. He claims, I don't know how this works, but he says that G.I. Joe is actually aimed at a slightly older audience than Transformers. But he says G.I. Joe was meant for 12-year-olds and Transformers for 10-year-olds. Okay.
Weird.
Seems about even money to me, but okay.
Yeah. He also mentioned, because I was like, why in the heck are these guys, just to prove how tough they are? Because even action movies don't do this. I was like, why are we raiding the enemy stronghold with no weapons?
That is one of the weirder moments in this.
Yeah, but he said that that's not completely unfounded. He says during World War II, it was standard practice to send deep recon patrols without weapons behind enemy lines. And the reason they did that was so they wouldn't be tempted to use their guns and give their positions away.
Okay, I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't entirely make sense in this one.
No, this was more of we're the greatest fighting force that ever was.
Yeah.
I'm Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah. we will have to talk about this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the flashback lore dump sequence was he said twice as long in the script. They had to cut
it looks like it was cut down.
Yeah, they had to cut it down for budget and time.
Right.
So yeah, those are the most pertinent, I think, bits of trivia I got out of the commentary.
Fair.
It's a great commentary. the weird thing is Buzz Dixon starts it off by saying, like, I will take responsibility for this, but I will not take the blame. And then proceeds to kind of poke fun at the movie, but he also said several times this was the best thing he was ever that he was ever associated with. So like, okay, dude,
He doesn't really know how he feels about it. It sounds like.
yeah. So it's like, so he starts off apologizing, but then says like, this is one of the things I'm most proud of. Like, okay, dude. Anyway.
So I'm going to mix it up a little bit and say, Jacob, what is your first like for this film?
My first like for this film, it is the opening scene, which is like probably where most
yeah, I think that's where all three of us are.
Yeah, I knew the
so
opening.
Good.
I knew
It's
the
so
opening was
freaking
going to
good.
be on that. I have it as a potential like. I'm going to go with a different one because I always have backups.
You're fine.
Yeah, but oh my gosh,
The opening spectacular. Be like you have the angles in which they use the animation,
it's the best
color.
animation in the whole movie.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. It's probably one of the best. Be like opening of films.
Like you could just release this as a short film, and they could have just left it at that, and it would have been amazing.
My dude, the only way that opening makes any sense, because it's not even like a James Bond opening where it's the opening gambit where it's like, oh, here's a mission James Bond is on just so we can remind you how cool James Bond is, and it may or may not connect to the rest of the movie. At the very least, it'll be like James Bond comes home, comes back to MI6 headquarters after being on a mission. It's like, here's another one for you, 007. It's not even that. This is completely separate from the rest of the movie. We have no idea why Cobra is attacking the Statue of Liberty, other than the fact that it's an American icon, and why not?
That's the entire reason.
Yeah, it's the whole reason.
In my mind, the only way this opening makes any sort of sense, because even by Saturday morning cartoon logic, the bad guy Cobra is making some really questionable decisions. Like, why is Cobra Commander flying down there and planting a bomb? They could put it on a rocket.
Well, it is Cobra Commander. He is kind of the guy who makes all the mistakes.
Say what you will, he was willing to go plant the bomb himself.
That is true.
Yeah.
That was very bold for this sneaky leader.
Yeah, but the only way that this makes any sort of sense in universe, and the same could be said for the opening of the show, because this is, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I haven't read anything that confirms this, but I'm pretty sure this is a brand new rendition of the theme song, but it is the same singer from the TV show.
Yes.
But it's an expanded version of it. The only way that
it's a lot like the intro for the Transformers. It's meant to be an extended version.
It is,
but it's definitely a new band.
It is new recording, so it's just not a new band.
That was something else I think I remember reading. This is one of the things that suffered when they had to change it and then send it straight to video. They were going to do like they did with Transformers the movie, where it was going to have a score that was going to be similar to Transformers the movie, and then they decided not to, which we'll get into that with potential dislikes. But the only reason that this opening makes sense in universe is that this is a recruitment video. Like, they put this together to get people to join G.I. Joe. And you know what? Sign me up.
How did they get Cobra to play along with them? That's what I'd like to know.
Maybe they had actors.
Very close actors that look like
Apparently?
I don't know. I'm just saying this is a recruitment video to get people to join G.I. Joe. I would sign up.
I was going with that maybe Cobra was trying to destroy the Statue of Liberty to hurt morale among the Americans, much like, or as a symbolic thing, much like future terrorist attacks, not that we're going to get into, did. But, and they got stopped by G.I. Joe because, of course, G.I. Joe was there. And that's why I thought it was doing it. And that's why Serpentor's like, Bumblers, we could have struck a mighty blow for Cobra.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But the script that Buzz Dixon worked on, he said that first scene, that when your synopsis started, is like, that was how his script, that was where his script started. That intro's not there. But you know what? This intro is brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
phenomenal.
It's probably,
100%
I have not like taken in the entirety of the G.I. Joe franchise, but given what I have seen of it, this might be peak G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Yes.
The intro to this movie is peak G.I. Joe.
I mean, they could have used this for an army recruiting thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, this is a recruitment video for G.I. Joe.
The actual army could have used this in the 80s to recruit people into the army.
Easy.
I see, and this is the thing. I wonder if what makes this so appealing and at times kind of a relic is that I think this could only have been made at that moment in time. This is Reagan's America.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The tail end of the Cold War. Patriotism is running high. And that's one of the things that I love about a real American hero. They've mucked around with the levels of patriotism for G.I. Joe since this.
Yeah.
But here, they are unabashedly patriotic.
Mhm.
And I love every second of it. I come from a
Yes.
military family, so that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
My dad's name is Joseph, which made me feel like as a kid, like my dad is actually G.I. Joe. So the unabashed patriotism, the American flag is featured frequently and
Oh, yeah,
prominently.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
Dude,
it's
that
like-
whole ending after they after they get the blow up the
Defute
bomb,
the bomb.
and Duke flies down, grabs the American flag, and flies all the way up the Statue of Liberty. I'm going,
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, that
I'm
shot.
like, this should be showed every 4th of July.
Yes. Oh my gosh. To be like speaking of that scene, the fact that like Duke picks up the flag from the ground
Mhm.
and takes that the scene where he's flying.
It's an
up.
amazing bit of animation.
It's a beautiful bit of
It's-
animation.
it's
Oh my
the-
gosh.
It is peak Americana, brought to
Oh,
you
yeah.
by the greatest of Japanese animation.
yeah, go figure on that.
Because Toei Animation did this.
Yes, so I
Yeah.
And
did.
I'm sitting there going, how does Toei, a Japanese company, really feel about having to animate this for the American
Audience. Yeah.
Probably it's like, well, it's a job. And
job?
It's a job.
But they went 110%.
They did.
Yeah,
It's
like,
phenomenal.
They committed so much. Like, can you imagine, regardless of where you saw it, whether it would have been shown in the theater or you saw it on video, like that opening makes promises.
Yes, that the rest of the movie does not fulfill.
No,
It doesn't fulfill because the
No.
movie is really weird.
it is weird.
Yes.
It is incredibly weird, which
I
I'm sure we
was-
will get into.
Watching
Yes.
this, I was literally like getting super excited to watch this, going, oh, this is the kind of film this is going to be. This is not going to be something stupid.
Wrong.
We'll get into that when we get to
There.
dislikes,
Yes.
because literally the very next scene.
Yes. Yes. So
Remember, I went into this blind.
he did. He did. So yes, the opening credits for this movie is so like everybody said, be like this is patriotic beyond American USA
Mhm.
kind of thing, beyond belief. The animation's spectacular, perfect, best opening to an animated movie in the last 40 years. One of them, but I have to go
Yeah.
back and like find the one that I enjoy. But this one, I just think like, okay, USA. That's what I think of this opening. It has like everything you want. Be like, again, it's not contextual to anything that's going on. It's just more like we need something to pump the audience up, and they do. It does its job fantastically. So yes, the
and
opening.
I think that opening, like they have like a gazillion cameos from both the Joes
Oh,
and the
yeah.
and Cobra,
It's
and who
nuts.
don't show up in the rest of the movie. Like I think I read somewhere in some trivia someplace that like there's only like 3 G.I. Joe characters who don't make some sort of appearance in this movie.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So
Well,
I'm gonna
and we-
jump off of your first like, because this is my first like as well.
Okay.
But this is like you were saying, like we were saying, this is such a patriotic action. Like this gets the inner 12-year-old to stand up and go, yeah, death to Cobra. It's like, because I'm sitting going, it's like, I haven't been this excited for the opening of a movie since I saw the Power Rangers jump out of a plane. So yeah, I mean, this is just such a fun opening for this film. And I kept thinking, okay, if they can hold this, we're going to be golden. They didn't hold it. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Nate, what's your first like for this
Yes.
film?
All right, so I'm going to go with one of my backup likes since we've already talked about the opening, but I am going. I'm going to go with the animation. We've kind of sung the
Oh, yeah.
praises of the animation.
Yeah.
The opening obviously is where the best animation is.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
as much as I know we're probably going to rag on the rest of the movie, and as freaking weird as the rest of this movie is, as I've said, it is not a great representation of how the show is.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate the weirdness of it. There's a harshness to the movie with the style of it. it feels almost like it was ripped out of the pages. Yeah, I think the summary called it kind of like, what was it, like Lovecraftian at
Yeah.
points.
Very
I feel like a
Lovecraftian.
lot of the art style of this could have been taken out of the pages of an 80s issue of Heavy Metal. Like it
Mhm.
has that aesthetic to it. This, grungy, dark, at points horrifying design and everything aesthetic to it, particularly in the Cobra Lost sections. Not so much with the rest of the show, but definitely in those Cobra Lost sections.
Mhm.
And it feels like something that could only have been produced in the 80s. Because when I think of other 80s cartoons, and there's some similar aesthetics, I think of Thundercats has some similar aesthetics to it as well. And it's like you could only have done this in the 80s when everything was hand drawn. Any attempts to try to replicate something like this,
Yeah,
there's something missing.
it's too clean.
It's too clean. I
That's
think
really
that's a
what
great
it is.
way
It's
to
too
put it.
clean.
Yeah. And there's some great colors in this. In fact, Buzz Dixon even said in the commentaries, like, I wish we could have seen more of Cobra Law or Granny's Body House, as he put it. He said, I wish we could have seen more.
Yeah,
Because
fair.
it sounded like he loved the designs of it because it was so strange. But he was talking about how like a lot of the stuff in this movie, particularly with the Cobra Law stuff, was inspired by, he was a big science fiction fan, so he was reading a lot of science fiction novels, and there was stuff in there about biological technology. And this is also a guy who said, yeah, I read classic books, I watched classic movies, and he's talking about how all of these influences plus his military experience got poured into G.I. Joe. And it's like, you know what? That exact right there is exactly, like, as weird as this is, while it may not be the best thing in the franchise aside from that epic opening, there's a reason why stuff like this worked, as quote unquote corny as it was. It works compared to new stuff written by people who, I'm just going to come out and say it. What is that, Jimmy? Yeah, my hot take for the episode. He was reaching for that button. It wasn't working, but it's just feels shallow by comparison.
yeah.
So I just saying the animators and the characters and the designers, the art designers or whatever that they are working on this, they really outdid themselves.
Fair.
Jacob, what's your second like for this film?
My second like, kind of going back with the animation, my particular would be with Cobra Commander's mutation from be like, I once was a man to being a snake. I know it's cheesy as all out. The entire premise of it is just bonkers. But when we first see he gets mutated, the animation is very well done. This is why he wears a mask. The fact to be like in the point where it's him and
Roadblock.
Thank you. I'm horrible names. Roadblock, me like in Roadblock fills his mask and whatever. Like it's like, man, this is your mask, and be like, I once was a man, and be like the entire mutation into he devolves into this snake, and be like the whole time be like you see scenes where he's like digressing over and over and over again, and be like, this is very well done, like animation wise. Be like it's always very nicely lit for the most part. It's animated wise, and just the fact that they took it where he was a man into a snake man, and then he becomes just a snake. I was like, okay, that's clever. I really enjoyed that for animation wise.
Between the
animation, not so much.
Between the animation and Chris Latta's performance, and I will say the writing for those things, that creeped me out so much.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding.
It freaked me out. Like there are things in this movie that are kind of tattooed on my brain because they disturbed little Nate while he was watching, because little Nate was not exactly used to this.
No,
it's like, this is not how G.I. Joe normally is. What is going on? Like, it was honestly kind of disturbing.
It was
when I was younger. And even to this day, when I watch this movie, particularly when they're doing the stuff with Cobra Commander, like when they first give him the spores and everything, it still takes me back to.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding.
Kind of being traumatized by it as a child. I'm like,
same.
Oh.
I was like, my gosh, what happened?
Yeah, it's like, really? And weirdly enough, it actually makes Cobra Commander kind of a sympathetic character.
He does.
So on that note, my second dislike, Second like, yes.
Yes.
Bear in mind, like I said, I came into this with almost no knowledge of G.I. Joe. My only real knowledge was that Cobra Commander was the bad guy, and in order for this show to work, he had to lose all the time because the Joes have to win. So we get in, this thing starts, and he's getting berated by Serpentor. We'll get onto Serpentor in a minute. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, sure, it makes sense that he's been failing all this time, sure, but he's still the leader of Cobra. There's no way
that's what he does.
Yeah, it's what he's going to do, and he keeps getting thrown under the bus by pretty much every single person in Cobra. And I was watching this going, where are they going with this? Because they're obviously setting him up for something. And then we get the trial of Cobra Commander. It's like
in Cobra Law, yeah,
it's in Cobra Law, and I'm going, wow, y'all really putting this character through his paces. Granted, I have no idea. I just know who this character is from an archetypal point of view. I don't really know who the character himself, because I've never seen it. And then we go through this whole bit where he gets the spores and then turns into, or first we get the flashback and we see why he has to wear the face mask. And then they make him breathe in the spores so that he slowly starts turning into the snake. And I'm going, wow, I feel sorry for this dude. Mm-hmm. He's the villain of the show. And I'm feeling sorry for him because as bad as he is, he does not deserve this.
Yeah.
No one deserves this.
Yeah. To give you a little bit of explanation.
And then the fact that he and Roadblock pretty much team up to get out of there and get back to the Joe's base.
Yeah.
And he does wow, this is actually a really cool plot point in this. That pretty much because they betrayed him, Cobra Commander is betraying all of Cobra because of what they did to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, which...
I mean, the only thing that would have been cooler is if they'd have had Cobra Commander kill Serpentor at the very end.
Yes.
Well, he kind of does when he comes back.
But
no. When they do the Deke series, which was made 2 years after this movie.
Yeah.
They had a 5-parter called Operation Dragonfire that launched it. And it follows up on this movie. They don't ignore it.
Yeah.
At least for this miniseries. And Cobra Commander, Serpentor is still around, and Cobra Commander does get his revenge on Serpentor.
Huh.
But if it happened in this movie, that would have been kind of cool.
And it was also,
they were probably expecting Serpentor to come back in Sunbow's season 3.
If they had done one. And honestly, spoiler warning, it's kind of poetic because Cobra Commander basically does the same thing to Serpentor, turns him into a snake.
Oh, nice.
That's not much of a change.
No, it's not. He was already kind of a snake in a,
Yeah. However, the only part of the movie that the Deke show does acknowledge is that Cobra Commander got turned into a snake, and it basically ignores everything else.
That makes sense.
And
which
Falcon
is really strange.
Yeah, and Falcon's
really strange. But to kind of fill in, even though they talk about it in the movie, Serpentor in the show was created as a replacement for Cobra Commander because everybody else was fed up with his incompetence.
Fair enough.
And Cobra Commander, because he has a silver tongue, and because he realizes that there was one flaw in Serpentor, which is that he's incredibly, if I remember, I think it's that he's incredibly impulsive. And because of that, even his plans were not working. So he convinced Serpentor to keep him around so he could blame all of his failures on Cobra Commander. While he was plotting to overthrow Serpentor at some point or another. Now, in the comics, Serpentor was created as a general who was still subservient to Cobra Commander.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the big differences.
I thought but I thought that story of the pretty much Cobra's betrayal of Cobra Commander and then him having to help the Joes in order just to get back to civilization. I thought that was just such a cool concept. It's like, this is a neat way to handle this story. And I just kept waiting for him to finally get his revenge during the movie. But apparently it happened later. So
Yeah. And
So,
like I
yeah.
said, he gets his revenge in the Deke show,
mhm.
and the way he gets turned back into a humanoid snake is really weird.
Anyway, Nate, what's your second like?
2 words: Sergeant Slaughter.
Fair.
Fair.
This man, at least the G.I. Joe version of him, is the incarnation of 80s action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, agreed.
Like, if you distilled the entirety of 80s action movies into a man, his name would be Sergeant Slaughter. Like, this guy, this dude,
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, he gets all the best lines in the movie.
He does.
And like, he's like if Schwarzenegger and like basically every action star had a baby. It's like, that is him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to explain it. Like, this guy is tough guy, cliches stacked on top of each other. It's like, it's nothing but tough guy. It's tough guy cliches all the way down. Like, and he has such a great look with the glasses and the hat, and it's a simple design, but it's an iconic design. Then it just works. And this really is just a more exaggerated version of Mr. Remus's wrestling persona because of the freedom of animation and action movie tropes. Like, it is absolutely nuts. And see, he was introduced in season 2 of the show. He didn't show up as much as you would have thought he would, but when he showed up, you paid attention.
Right.
And like, oh my gosh, so many of the best lines. Like, I need to go look at some of the ones that I wrote down because they are gold. They're absolute gold. Let's see. Yeah, this is my favorite one. Thank you, Sergeant Slaughter, for this. It says, "You're gonna work until you wish you were dead and keep going because you're afraid if you don't, I won't let you die."
That was a very good line.
That's a very good line.
It was.
It's like, I could see Arlie Ermy shouting this.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love you. It's that I'm between this or my other favorite Sergeant Slaughter line is from the show. It's from one of his early appearances on the show where he's giving a pep talk to all the Joes after they've been defeated by Cobra. And it was during the 5-part arc where they make Serpentor. And he tells all of them, and like everybody, he's talking to everybody, and all of them stand at attention, including General Hawk. And give him their full attention. And he says, "Give your hearts to America, boys, because your butts belong to me."
That
General,
totally General.
I'm just a staff sergeant, but you're the general, but you belong to me.
I love every scene he's in. I love just every second he's on screen. I absolutely love it. And probably the pinnacle of what he does in this movie, and this is one of those images that has been tattooed on Nate's brain since little Nate watched this movie, is when he runs across a bridge and it turns out to be a giant mantis. And the mantis gets up, turns around, and it's gonna get him. And Sergeant Slaughter takes his rifle and he shoots at him, but the rifle's out of ammo. It's a laser, so the laser doesn't work. But is Sergeant Slaughter worried about that? No, Sergeant Slaughter is not worried about that. He just turns the rifle around and smacks the mantis in the face. And the mantis
because he's Sergeant Slaughter.
Because he's Sergeant Slaughter, dang it. And then Sergeant Slaughter and then the mantis just falls over, and he's like, "Come on, guys!" And they all run across.
Yeah, so I love your comparison earlier because you be like how hold on.
Why do I now want to fight between Sergeant Slaughter and Segata Sanshiro right now?
or how about Chuck Norris? Rest in peace.
Yes. That would be nice to a three-way fight.
Yes. So I do
Don Fry.
Don Fry.
Don
yes.
Fry. So I do
With
do
Macho Man Randy Savage commentating.
Yes, I do.
Or
I do,
you know, we'll pit Sergeant Slaughter against Captain Gordon, the head of security on the island.
Oh, there you go. Anyway, Jacob.
yeah. So Bill, I love your comparison. Like he's this amalgamation.
Sorry.
I love the fact to be like Sergeant Slaughter. Be like if like they took Sir Serpentor or like Sir Serpentor and like created him from like all the greatest generals or whatever. It's like they created Sergeant Slaughter from all the greatest action heroes of the 80s or whatever and made this tough as nails guy that would chew leather as a
who eats giant ribs for breakfast.
Yeah, giant ribs for breakfast. Oh yeah, that kind of guy. He's the amalgamation of everything. It's just I completely agree with it.
And he's the only guy that the reason why he has the renegades is because they're loose cannons, and apparently he's the only one he's the only one who could talk to him and they'll respect him.
Yeah.
That's the wild part. And this is the guy because Captain Falcon says, "Oh, invading
Lieutenant
the enemy."
Falcon. Captain Falcon's a different guy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I got Captain Falcon over here on my shelf.
Yeah, Falcon Punch. Anyway,
Show me your moves.
there's a cover idea for you, Jacob. It's Lieutenant Falcon doing a Falcon Punch.
That could be an option.
Yeah, it could be an option. But
Considering
anyway,
I'm still convinced Captain Falcon is based off Kamen Rider. But
I think he is actually. But anyway, so this is the guy when Lieutenant Falcon says, "Oh, we're going to invade the enemy's headquarters," like the enemy headquarters, not just a headquarters, the headquarters.
Mhm.
Oh, it's supposed to be just for. First off, Sergeant Slaughter says, "Oh, it's just this is an educational training mission. You are invading the headquarters of all the bad guys, and this is just a training mission for you because you are Sergeant Slaughter, and this is how it works."
yes.
So. And Lieutenant
every mission's a training mission for Sergeant Slaughter.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It's like, we need to start Sergeant Slaughter facts. Every mission for Sergeant Slaughter is a training mission.
Yeah.
Like we should do that. Like in honor of Chuck Norris, we will do Sergeant Slaughter facts. And Lieutenant Falcon says, "Oh, it's just supposed to be a training mission. Well, why don't we make it more challenging and not take weapons?" He's like, "I like that." Only because you are Sergeant Slaughter would you think this is a good idea.
So they're going, Falcon, shut up.
I wish one of the other guys would have said that. Just like, Falcon, shut up. I wish Falcon had been like, "Oh wait, I didn't think he'd do it."
This is why Falcon is a screw up.
That is true.
Oh my gosh! Like I said, every second this guy is on screen. Like think of it's like if you took the movie, like you took the entire team of people from the first Predator and put them into one man. Like this is like Jesse the Body Ventura is like, "I ain't got time to bleed," oh, painless. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Like this guy.
Yeah. So
my
much
God.
Predator.
Do you bleed? You will.
That's Batman, sir.
I know, but it's the only thing I can think of.
Oh my gosh. Like again, a little bit of a relic of the time because
Yes.
even if they could bring Sergeant Slaughter back, and Sergeant Slaughter was in the Deke show and it was still Sergeant Slaughter, the wrestler, voicing him, but most of that energy was just gone. Like the Deke version of Sergeant Slaughter is a pale imitation of what we had here. And it's very disappointing, but I don't think they could bring Sergeant Slaughter, even if they got the pro wrestler back to voice him because he's still around.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be the same. He is very much a product of the 80s.
Yes.
And that action movie culture. It would not be the same. They broke the mold with Sergeant Slaughter, figuratively and literally.
Yes.
Figuratively? See what I did there?
Someone thinks they're funny.
But we need to get into our dislikes.
Yes,
now.
we do.
Jacob, what is your first dislike?
Oh my gosh. So all I'm gonna say is Cobra. La, 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 la. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, it's so incredibly stupid. So so you have this really interesting story about the Joes and everything, but once they get into Cobra Law junk, because I understand it was a mandate from Hasbro. They had to bring in the Cobra Law stuff. They had to shift the story to make everything about Cobra Law. And the entire thing, it just goes, you go, okay, great opening. Okay, Joes are doing this. Cobra's doing this. Okay, it sounds like a regular story. And then they bring in Cobra Law. It's like every time they bring up Cobra Law, the story goes, breaks. Be like, the E-Brace has been broke off, and now we have to somehow manage the story just to keep Cobra Law in the story. And the entire time, it's like, this is ridiculous. The entire time. Why are they doing this? And I'm back to my
mandates.
Yeah, Hasbro mandates. I get it. Be like, this had to be in the script. And it's like, okay, we got to go more sci-fi. We got more fantasy with this. And it broke the movie for me. Because I'm watching this. I'm like, okay, this be like G.I. Joe, Cobra, la, 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 la. That makes no sense. Makes zero sense. The story just becomes stupider and stupider and stupider every time Cobra Law comes up. I'm like, just stick with your G.I. Joe. Pick a really interesting plot, not, oh my gosh, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker for me. So Cobra Law is going to implant these spores into outer space, and they're not going to burn up in the atmosphere. Thought about that. That doesn't work either. So, and they are so anti-technology, this and this and this, and they have to use G.I. Joe's newest weapon in order to cause these pods to grow and disperse and everything like that. Even though you're anti-technology, you have to use G.I. Joe's technology
in their
in order to
defense.
Do your plan. Makes no sense.
In their
you
defense,
said that, and I had this thought come to mind. Energy transformer, make my spores grow.
But
Wow.
this entire Cobra la 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 plot is so stupid.
In their defense, they were only using it to expedite the process.
Fair, but it was still
So
stupid.
they would I'm guessing the self-justification. This is headcanon, admittedly.
fair.
The justification can be we are exploiting a weapon of the enemy to expedite something that would have eventually happened.
I get it. I get it. Now the kicker is, okay, so you have Cobra la 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 has they
It's gonna be the title of this episode,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Cobra la 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 la.
Cobra la 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 la.
But you have this you have this ancient civilization which is Cobra la 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 la.
It's just Cobra Law.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep saying Cobra la 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 la.
That's because Serpentor did that as the
He does it
fucking battle
once.
cry.
Cobra la 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 la.
Why?
Which was stupid. So the fact to be like, this is an ancient civilization that predates humans, and be like, and for somehow they are located in the Arctic. They're snakes. They're snakes. They're warm-blooded creatures. Why in the world is a warm-blooded creature that cannot survive the winter living in Antarctica? That makes no sense.
Drew, hit the button.
Gruntsmaster activated.
This audio clip owned by Nate Marchand of the Monster Island Film Vault. For more information, please go to monsterislandfilmvault.com.
They should be snakesicles. That's all.
Didn't this come up before?
I think so.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They should be snakesicles. This shouldn't be anything in the story. It should be like they show up and it's you know,
A hissy fit?
Yes, they're having a hissy fit. Cobra is having a hissy fit.
he always has issues, man. But the fact
There's
that
the title of the
I
episode.
was once a man.
There's the title of your episode. Throwing a hissy fit.
Yes.
but no, it's more like my thought was ever since it's supposed to be like they're supposed to be planted in the Arctic, and I get why they did that. I get it. But at the same time, be like, these are snakes. They're warm-blooded creatures. They don't do well with the cold. Be like, bugs don't do well with the cold, but why are they in the cold? Why are they in
Snake Sickles 2, Electric Boogaloo. There's your
Okay,
episode.
I have a way you could make this work.
okay, without
Do you have a way you could have made this work? Instead of them being out in the open in the Himalayas,
uh-huh.
you have them be
It's the Himalayas, not the
underground.
Arctic.
I know. It's the first thing came to mind. Himalayas, whatever.
The Himalayas, and granted, the Himalayan mountains, they are pretty cold.
Yeah.
I'm saying have them go through a cave tunnel, and all of a sudden it's like Journey to the Center of the Earth. You just have Cobra la 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 underneath Mount Everest.
There we go. That makes more sense. But no, they're under the ice cap.
Artsy Steph in the chat has
Yes.
your episode title.
Yes, having a hissy fit in Cobra la 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 la.
Yes.
But
so-
if you'd have done that, like I said, place it there, and instead of trying to cram all of this lore and plot
nonsense
about, it's not necessarily nonsense. The problem is it's way too much at one time.
That is true. It's way too much plot
If
going on
it
at
has
once.
been spread out, if this had been spread out across a season, you
True.
would not have the problem.
That is true.
It is the textbook definition of lore dump.
Yes,
It
it
is
is.
the-
Oh
it-
my god.
I will tell you that's one of the reasons I don't like this. It's not in my dislike, but it's like this is the most plot. This is a lore heavy plot dump I have ever
Okay, you're not
heard in
kidding.
my life.
You are not kidding. And literally,
This should have been spread out across multiple episodes.
and the example of the how off rails this plot goes, the fact to be like they have to retrofit the Cobra la 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 on top of Serpentor, on top of his creation and everything.
I will be getting into that in one of my dislikes.
That's fair. So be like the fact to be like even Cobra Commander was from Cobra la 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 la. That was like, what the? Why do you bring that up? Oh yeah, because it's a movie thing. That's the only reason why.
I will tell you
Makes
this.
no
I will,
sense.
I will tell you this. This isn't quite what I was going to bring up, but however, this origin for Cobra Commander is unique to this movie.
I agree. It is.
I actually kind of like
no
this
other
origin.
incarnation of Cobra Commander has anything close to this.
Oh,
his
agree.
origin,
It's just
his
wacky
origin
as
is either
hell.
left. His origin's either left mysterious. The first live action movie had a kind of a stupid origin for him too.
I
Not
thought it was
quite as
interesting.
not
It's
quite
weird,
as
but it's
weird
interesting.
as this, but still not great. In the comics, which is the most contemporaneous thing, this was one of
Yes.
the other huge divergences that the comics had. And once I tell you, admittedly, I have gotten this from reading wikis. I have not read the comics myself. I'm very curious. I'm hoping that this makes a bit more sense in execution than in summary.
Fair.
Because when I tell you this, you're going to be like, how the heck does that work? In the comics, Cobra Commander is human,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and he used to be, I kid you not, a used car salesman.
I've heard that one before.
Okay.
Yeah. Long story short, if I remember correctly, if this was my show, Jimmy would have to add this to his blog for the episode. He was a used car salesman. He had a family. His business fell apart. His family, I think things were falling apart for his family. He snapped, blamed the U.S. government for it,
Mm-hmm.
and then burned down his own car dealership. And if I remember correctly, I think he murdered his family too.
Yeah, just
Like
really,
they were
really dark stuff.
he burned them with the car dealership, if I remember correctly. That detail I might be misremembering.
Question.
And then became a terrorist to stick it to the U.S. government. For
Question
doing
was
that.
was the cars he was selling Mustang Cobras?
I would love that irony. So I get that.
Yeah, there's
sounds-
a good reason why he formed Cobra.
Yeah.
It's not named after the snake. It's named after the car.
Yeah. And
I hate
I
that
will
car so much.
get.
Anyway, what was this
Yeah,
about?
and I will get, as part of my dislike, the original idea that Buzz Dixon pitched for both this and Arise Serpentor Arise, which is the 5-parter that introduces Serpentor. He shared it on the commentary, and I thought to myself, yeah, I should have went with that because it's still different than the comics, and I think I would have preferred it to the weirdness that they get into with Cobra
Right.
Commander here.
You have anything to add before
that
going
is
to
fair.
mine?
Be like the fact that the Cobra la 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 plot is so ridiculously over the top, and again, it's an overstuffed story, and it's just I mean, like once you get into Cobra la 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 la, it's just I mean, like I lose it. Be like can you just turn me into a dog and get me out of here?
Diabetic Skeletor.
Oh,
True.
you can make that happen, Deedlet? You got your transmogrifier array recharged?
Oh,
She says, be careful what you wish for. She said it just like that too.
is it like a modified version of the spores, the Cobra Law spores?
No, this is space technology, not snake technology.
Snake technology, got it.
Yeah, whatever.
Snakeology.
Yeah,
Deal it.
but we all know that if you got exposed to those spores, you're a total dog.
She said, calm down. She's not done anything yet.
Are we sure?
Still fully charged.
Okay, good.
Hey, Jimmy, can you do anything about this? Good. He cut the wires.
Oh, good. Wait, there's no tail, is there? No. we're
What
good.
wires?
Oh, crap.
Jimmy, you cut the wrong ones.
Anyway.
What wires did you cut? You don't want to talk about it. That's probably for the better. Anyway.
My first dislike.
Rentmaster, activate.
Oh no.
This audio clip owned by Nate Marchand of the Monster Island Film Vault. For more information, please go to monsterislandfilmvault.com.
The coma of Duke.
Oh my gosh.
Look, as I said multiple times, I went into this blind. I knew
Literally.
Duke went into a coma only because of Transformers and the trivia and all that other stuff and the research for that.
The weirdness about the timeline of this is that Hasbro read the script for this where Duke dies and is like, that's great. Let's do it for Transformers with Optimus. And then that movie came out first. And then they...
But here's the thing. First off, they change their minds after it's all animated and voiced and everything, and say, "Oh no, we can't kill Duke. Just have him go. Just come up with something. Have him go into a coma." They tried to course correct.
He was speared by a snake.
They tried to course correct with
chest.
only 2 lines, and they are completely unbelievable lines.
Oh.
You just get him going into the coma, and the nurse.
He was
he's
speared
going into a
the
coma.
chest.
And I'm
In
going, bull crap, he was getting a coma. You can't survive that.
It was seriously speared in the heart with a lot of blood. There was
And
a ton
then-
of blood
and-
in a show, in a franchise that was scared of showing people getting hurt despite the many acts of violence.
And then you try to say, oh, look, he's still alive by having someone call says, hey, guys, guess what? Duke's actually has come out of his coma. Everything's A-okay. And I'm sitting there going, 2 things. Why is every other line referencing Duke after his quote-unquote coma acting like he's dead? Because in the
Including
original
the
script, he was!
Including the last line of the
Including
movie.
the last line of the movie! And thirdly, it is entirely disrespectful to the character of Duke to take this great death scene for this character. This character had an amazing death scene and bypass it at the very last freaking minute because you are scared of people being afraid that Duke's dead because Optimus Prime died.
And it's almost a moot point because, like I said, Sumbo didn't make a 3rd season. And when Deke made more seasons later, guess what? Duke is hardly in it.
I am not a big G.I. Joe fan. I did not grow up on it. And I am pissed for G.I. Joe fans' sake because if you're going to take a character who is given a meaningful death scene and take it away from him, you are disrespecting the character, and it's disrespectful to the franchise. This
Fair.
would have been like if at the last minute they McCoy popped up and waved some magic thing over Spock and said, oh, look, he's better now. In Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Doesn't that kind of happen in Star Trek Into Darkness?
Yes! Which is why I don't like Star Trek.
Clip that, Artsy, right now.
Breathe. This is why I did the Rant Master. I knew it was going to go this way. Because this is, granted, as an amateur writer at best, this is the biggest faux pas you're going to make.
It has
all because some executives at a toy company got scared. Where was the scaredness later on, Hasbro, with so many other things you've stepped in? Especially in the last couple years.
Different people are running the company.
And apparently didn't learn from their mistakes.
Well, you want to know something else? Like, you think this is bad. Yeah, they killed Optimus, but before they made the decision to resurrect him, they killed him again.
Yeah.
Because he came back as a zombie, which is disturbing enough, and then they killed him again.
So yeah, that is my second dislike.
And then in the Japanese show, they killed him a third time.
My second dislike, and my first dislike for G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, the movie, is the disrespect towards the entire franchise by putting Duke into a coma.
You're not kidding.
Nate, what's your first dislike?
All right. I'm trying to decide. I hit the button.
Rantmaster activated.
This audio clip owned by Nate Marchand of the Monster Island Film Vault. For more information, please go to monsterislandfilmvault.com.
My freaking gimmick, and this is my sponsored episode, so I'm taking it. The mother trucking retcons.
You're not kidding.
I am speaking. This does not affect you, Drew. This affects me as a fan.
Fair.
The retcons in this are kind of obscene. First of all, the back of Cobra Commander's head was seen at least once or twice in the show, and he was definitely not pale green. So he was implicitly human, a bald human, but implicitly human. And like all of this stuff with Cobra Law was invented for the movie. Yeah. It was all invented for the movie. And it was because Hasbro turned down Buzz Dixon's original pitch for season 2. Because they basically just told him, it's like he gave him a pitch and was like, okay, that's cool. But what are you going to do with the Cobra Emperor? And they're like, who's the Cobra Emperor? And he's like, well, we need you to put the Cobra Emperor in there. It's almost the way he tells it. It's almost like they gaslit him into changing it.
Like, you didn't know the Cobra Emperor was coming?
Yeah, you didn't know about the Cobra
Were you not
Emperor?
sitting in the toy meetings?
Yeah,
that you probably weren't invited to?
Yeah, apparently not. But no. Which is what makes all of this weird, because Hasbro had it in their head that they had to have certain things. You know what Buzz Dixon's original pitch was for this? They got permutated into this and that 5-parter that started season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was a story that he said he called The Most Dangerous Man in the World, that would have explained the origin of Cobra. Cobra Law was was nowhere in there. You know what it was? There was this character. I forget I don't know if Buzz Dixon gave him a name or anything, but he said he would have been like a Karl Marx or like an Adolf Hitler or something, like that kind of a character. Gotcha. He founded Cobra, and he was like not only did he found Cobra, he formulated their entire philosophy and everything. Cobra Commander was a subordinate. He overthrew this guy and put him in prison, in his own prison, kept him around, took over the organization, and then took it in a completely different direction. He basically tarnished this guy's whole mission statement with Cobra, and then ran it into the ground with his incompetence. And then, let me make sure I get this right, because this guy would have escaped from prison, and the Joes would have tried to help him. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, misapplied the founder's philosophy, made Cobra an evil organization, and then he would have escaped, the Joes would have pursued him, tried to help him out, but then they realized we don't like him either. So they just would have left him alone. He would still be at large throughout season 2, theoretically causing problems for both of them, but especially Cobra. And this was eventually permutated into Serpentor and Cobra la 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 la. I'm like, dude, you should have stuck to your guns. I would prefer that. I think even Little Nate would have preferred that to all of this weirdness. It doesn't exactly fit because it contradicts. Now, admittedly, the Transformers, the movie, does some of the same stuff. It also contradicts some stuff from the show, but it's more like they introduce new things where you're like, I think we would have either had a reference or seen something like the Matrix of Leadership. It's like, why didn't we see that until this movie? But you let it go because it still feels like it fits. This does not fit in nicely.
No.
Because all of this stuff where it's like, oh, we manipulated Dr. Mindbender to actually make Serpentor. Shut up. Shut up. This screams retcon.
Yes, it is very much retcon.
It's a retcon, and it's not a good retcon. Most retcons, I would argue, are not good ideas. This is definitely not one of them. And it's frustrating because on the other hand, I love the aesthetic and the visuals of Cobra Law. And maybe if they just made them the villains in this, like they were just an ancient civilization. They had no connections to Cobra, but they pop up and they cause problems for both of them. Or maybe Cobra and the Joes have to team up against Cobra because Cobra's like, we want to take over the world, not these guys. And the Joes are like, we don't like either one of you taking over. So that could have been way more interesting, I think. This third party coming up. They should not have been. But on the other hand, there is a logic to it because where is Cobra getting its resources? Admittedly, where is Cobra getting its resources? So I don't know. Maybe they could have maybe they could have a connection to Cobra. Maybe they didn't create Cobra, but they were supplying them with technology or something. Or maybe the movie starts. Or maybe the movie starts with Cobra Commander being like, I've run out of resources. What do I do? And then
they make a deal with the snake devil.
Yeah, Globulus shows up and says, I will make you a deal, something like that. So you could still have them and do a lot of this movie, but not all these weird retcons. It is so bizarre, like I said, and like the comics almost completely ignore this. Those characters don't really, the Cobra la 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 characters never really come back. Which should tell you a lot. It's so weird, but that's why I'm kind of two minds about it, because it's simultaneously the weirdest, possibly worst thing about this movie, other than what they do to Duke. But it's also one of the most interesting things in it because it's a visually unique movie. So it's so incredibly frustrating. Also, I would also feel bad because we got Burgess Meredith in a G.I. Joe movie.
Yes.
Overselling everything in this. Like, we were talking like this is Raul Julia as M. Bison levels almost.
Fair.
The script, I would argue, is better than Street Fighter, but like Burgess Meredith is all in and then some with this. So, yeah. The retcons. Not a good idea. And like I said, the Deke series basically ignores all of it. Other than Serpentor has found Cobra Commander the Snake and has basically put him in like his own little cage just to torture him, just to screw with him, keep him around as a pet. And then somebody loyal to Cobra Commander breaks him out, does some weird sciencey voodoo pseudo magic stuff to him that makes him a snake man, reptilian man again. Then they give him a new costume. And then he overthrows Serpentor and turns him into a snake because poetic justice. And then he takes over Cobra again. And everybody, no, not Cobra, just Cobra.
Cobra Commander.
Yes.
Yeah, Cobra Commander takes over Cobra again. And weirdly enough, all of his subordinates are just like, yeah, we love you. When?
When did that happen?
When did that happen? The Deke show.
They follow who's in charge. They don't really care
guess.
who.
That is
I
true.
guess the Deke show is weird. I revisited some of it
Mhm.
recently, but unfortunately the Tubi uploads are broken. The episodes are mislabeled, or it plays the same episode multiple times.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I guess I'm buying the DVDs. Oh well. It's weird.
Jacob,
Yeah.
what is your second dislike?
My second dislike, I'm gonna bounce what Drew said earlier, was the fact be like you have this broken, because again, Hasbro was scared to death to repeat what they did with Optimus Prime. Because again, as a child, watching that as a child broke me. I was like, if they killed off Prime, they can't do that. And I understand from like production and corporate, that kind of thing, be like, you don't want to repeat the same thing because you'll be like, you're going to get the same negative reaction. I get why they did it, but be like, I don't know what prevented them from easily going back and re-editing things with this movie. Go back, do some new animation, new audio, what have you, not simply just taking two little audio clips to make you believe that, oh my gosh, be like, oh, he survived. But the entire time, like Drew was talking about and everybody else was talking about, the fact be like the animation screams that, oh my gosh, Duke is dead. But they're trying to convince you, oh no, he survived. And then why is everybody
The word is gaslight, sir.
Yeah, it's gaslighting. It's gaslighting our audience to saying
the worst gaslight ever done, but it's gaslight.
Like it's almost bad as Mother Gothel. Let's just say that it's almost worse as Mother Gothel from Tangled. But it's like, oh my word, it's like, good night. Like Hasbro, take a little bit of the money and put it to new animation and make the scenes slightly different and just amp it up just a little bit, change something other than, oh, give it two different lines. That's it. That is sloppy writing beyond belief. Be like, what? You didn't have the time to go in and do some slight reanimations, go back and redo some lines.
Jacob, that would have cost money.
Oh, I'm aware, but
they didn't want to spend it.
But be like, if you are so concerned about repeating what you did in the Transformers, the movie, go back, put a little more effort in this instead of giving us two lines that give no indication whatsoever. Oh, the Duke survived, because all the other characters, including Falcon, that's his name, right?
Yeah,
his half
Falcon.
brother,
Lieutenant Falcon.
Yeah, Lieutenant Falcon. Be like, the fact be like, all his motivation is the fact to be like, his half brother is dead, and we know this simply by just like visual, audio, everything about this, and it makes no sense that they just put two lines in there to try to convince the audience that Duke is alive. Like, even visually, we know, be like, because the visuals and the audio tells us otherwise. It is just a poor attempt at trying to make a bad situation better when they make it absolutely worse.
Mm-hmm.
So this be like, oh, we need to change this. Oh, let's give two lines and not change any animation whatsoever because we're too cheap. And you just make the movie worse with it. Just saying. I'd be like, the way they executed he's in a coma. Oh, he came back. No problem. It made no sense whatsoever. And it's just the dumbest decision. Either A, kill Duke off, just have it be that way and make it this really epic ending, or change it. Change your story a little bit. Put in time, put in money, put in the effort, do something different and make it better. But nope. Let's throw in one line, two lines that make no sense and is not convincing whatsoever.
Hit the button, Drew.
Roundmaster activated.
This audio clip owned by Nate Marchand of Monster Island Film Vault. For more information, please go to monsterislandfilmvault.com.
Do better, Hasbro.
I swear, I think we are dangerously close to getting to as many Rant Masters as we did for the freaking Titanic movies, and this isn't nearly as bad a movie.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is my second and final dislike of this movie. The fact that they took Duke's death. Oh yeah, let's be cheap and throw 2 different lines in there and not change a freaking thing in the movie.
Drew looks like he is preparing.
Be prepared.
If y'all haven't seen that particular video on our shorts page, you need to go look it up.
Yes.
But or on our TikTok, I should say.
Yes.
My second dislike for this film
Does he need to hit the button now or later?
is the entire concept and execution of the character of Serpentor. I absolutely hate
This I command.
character.
Grandmaster activated.
This audio clip owned by Nate Marchand of the Monster Island Film Vault. For more information, please go to monsterislandfilmvault.com.
Cobra. La, 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 la. Continue.
This
I'm gonna
character,
back up.
this character, granted, think of this, look at this through my eyes. I just got done watching the most epic 5 minutes ever seen in an animated cartoon of any length.
Mm-hmm.
We get this slow movement through the swamp. Obviously, we're building up to something, and we get this guy coming out of a ceiling going, "Bumblers, idiots!" I'm going, "Who are you and why do I care?" Next, dude, you've got the snake theming just on a little too much.
This is a bit. Yes.
and it keeps going. It's like, because then you start getting into this, like, we got, first off, we're gonna throw Cobra Commander under the bus, and then Cobra Commander's like, no, we must defend him when it's getting invaded by this mysterious stranger who actually is just trying to go talk to Serpentor, and it's just like, oh, you should go steal this energy transmitter thingy, and this character, and we get to Shangri-La, and they start going into this Shangri-La, Cobra, and we start going into this character's backstory and how he's, first off, he is a genetic experiment holding all the DNA of all the world's dictators.
This is all from the show.
I know,
Yes.
I know, but also that was done by Dr.
Mindbender.
Mindbender. Sorry, I was thinking I had another name come to mind, but Dr. Mindbender. But this was not Dr. Mindbender's idea. No, this was given to him by this weird bug thing that they psychically convinced him that he needed to make Serpentor by Cobra. And
Fun fact, the board tried doing this on the island for a little while.
This character is like the Emperor's idiot son. If I were to describe him as a character archetype, because obviously no one actually cares what this guy thinks, or at least it doesn't feel like it, but they're all going to believe him because, oh, he's the Emperor's son, but he's a big idiot. And he's obviously well loved by the Emperor, in this case being Globulus. But I'm still sitting there going, this guy is the problem. Like, if you had Globulus take over from Cobra Commander and you didn't have Serpentor in the middle of it, and it's very obvious Serpentor was designed as a toy first and a character second. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying this about a glorified toy commercial because that's what G.I. Joe and Transformers and all these Hasbro-owned shows are.
Yes.
But at least with all the other shows, there's enough of a sheen of believability that I can kind of just let the capitalism flow over me and move on. But this...
that is a top 5 line from the complete run of this podcast from Drew.
But with this, it's like good. Every other character is like, okay, I get why the Joes all make sense in their character designs.
Clip that.
All the other members of Cobra, their just character designs make sense. And then you've got Serpentor, who is like the biggest edgelord OC character that was ever made. because that's what this feels like. I should be running across this character on DeviantArt.
You're not
Or
kidding.
As an
Tumblr.
artist or as a piece of art?
Does it matter? Does there a difference? This character is dumb. Dumb. I hate him so very much. And it is him specifically that took me out of this film and made it to where I was watching it mostly in the background. I was still watching it. I was keeping an eye on it. I was... My apologies, Artsy Steph. She says, guys, wait, I can't keep up with all the clips.
Oh, keep up, madam.
Clip farming.
It takes a bit to actually make clips.
Fair.
So
That is true.
when we have this many, one right after another. But this character is so stupid and is so toy executive created that any amount of believability that this film has is taken out anytime this character is on screen. It is for him his fault that every time we say Cobra Law, we have to say Cobra La 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 La. I'm going, dude, that will get you canceled now. How is it not going to get us canceled by making fun of it? This character is so annoying, and he is the main thing. Like everything else, I could have just let go, and like it just be nitpicks. But with him, it's like, no, this is the entire reason I don't like this film. Because anytime it tried to do something cool or interesting, as much as it might have annoyed my co-host, he would pop up and ruin it. Completely and utterly ruin it. And I want to see him go into the furnace where the Toy Story 3 toys nearly died. Wrong one.
Rentmaster, activate.
This audio clip owned by Nate Marchand of Monster Island Film Vault. For more information, please go to monsterislandfilmvault.com.
Oh my.
You wanna
But
hear something?
I will say that after the first couple minutes of this film, most of my watching of this film was...
I will. This is totally against my
Nate, what's your second dislike?
I just want to build off of that. Check the private chat. Your rant reminded me that in the early 90s, Sunbow co-produced a Conan the Barbarian
Oh
cartoon.
my word.
And the main bad guy, his name was Rathamon. He looks like Serpentor on crack.
You're
not
not
kidding. Oh my gosh.
I can see this guy going, Cobra la 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 la.
He was the leader. He was the leader of a snake cult.
No kidding.
Wow.
And to make it even crazier, for what I was reading up on him while you were going on your rant, Master, he used to be a lizard man, and then the evil god that he served turned him into that to lead the snake cult.
Oh my goodness.
So basically, Sunbow recycled the character design.
Oh bother.
Oh me.
Oh. I unfortunately will not be building on the train of rant masters here, because we got to the major ones that I would have brought up as a dislike. So I will say my second dislike is the music, because it is inconsistent.
Mhm.
Like I was saying, it was supposed to be like Transformers the movie, where they were going to do a soundtrack that was like that. And when you're watching this, and this registers more for me as someone who's seen the show, and I'm sure it was true for you as well, Jacob.
Yeah.
What makes this weird is that you get I thought there wasn't any new music made for this, and listening to it again, I'm pretty sure that's not exactly, I think it's that they didn't get to put in anything like crazy rock songs like in Transformers the movie, because there's clearly new music in this. It stands out because it sounds It's not Vince DiCola who composed for Transformers the movie, but it sounds very similar.
Yeah.
But it comes very sporadically, and everything else is the music used from the show. And this new music and the stuff from the show, the tracks from the show are so different, they don't exactly gel. Especially since it will switch in the same scene.
Yeah.
So, you get the opening with that epic new rendition of the theme song. Great. And then we cut to the first actual scene, and it's recycling music cues from the show. And then Pythona shows up, and there's a brand new track that sounds like it was from Transformers the movie.
True.
And it's kind of jarring because it doesn't exactly fit. And then that's the entire movie. It's mostly recycled music, and then occasionally new music that honestly sounds more cinematic. And then it's here for a minute and it's done, and then we go back. So yeah, it's an inconsistent soundtrack because I think these sets of music on their own are fine, but trying to use them in the same thing, it doesn't quite gel. Which feels incredibly minor compared to everything else we've been losing our minds over.
Very true.
Right.
So there you go.
So we need to rate this film. Jacob, what are you rating?
Oh,
it?
no. I want to hear yours first.
Drew, I honestly did not think you would hate it this much. I swear, I was not trying to make Bad Movie Month come early again.
No.
I really was.
First off, you must not have caught my theme because I did not play. If it hadn't been for you, I would now be in someone else's digestion. I didn't play that theme.
Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking we had this was accidental. This was not meant to be another Star Wars holiday special.
It's not that. It's not that bad. I actually did enjoy my time watching it. Or at least having it on in the background for a good portions of it.
Right.
But at the same time, this is not something I want to return to until I have more context.
Fair.
For what's going on. Because I have suspicions that even with all the retcons and changes y'all have talked about for all this, I have a feeling there's going to be watching it with more context about at least who these characters were in the show and everything. I would probably enjoy it more. And a lot of my dislikes, their things would have come up, I think, even if I had seen the show. It's just they stand out more to me, especially with Serpentor. But as a film, as a film, I think I actually am going to rate this a 6.5.
Ooh, okay.
It's the first 5 minutes are amazing. The rest of it is at least TV quality animation and keeps at a fairly standard quality. Character designs, for the most part, are good, even though they were definitely designed as toys first before they had to figure out how to animate them. But they still work as well as they are. I wish I would have. I wish I would have known who these characters were, so I wouldn't have felt lost for the first half of the film. But from what I can tell, this is actually very well made with the budget and the restrictions that it was under. So yeah, I'm giving it a 6.5.
So apparently, I rate a little bit lower. I'm rating a 6. The animations, the first 5 minutes are spectacular. You cannot be I think if you gave this thing anything less than a 6 because the first opening and the animation's not bad, definitely for something that has more of a television quality, maybe a little higher. But animation alone, it's great. You have most of the plot when you get the cover, you lose me completely. It retcon, like Nate said, retconning everything in the show just to fit this movie. It makes no sense. I think nostalgia wise, it's still going to give me a 6 because as a kid, I enjoyed it, even though I never understood this movie at all when I was a kid. I was like, oh, cool, G.I. Joe. Oh, snakes. Okay, I don't like snakes.
Okay, Indiana Jones.
Exactly.
I'm tired of these mother trucking snakes on this mother trucking mountain.
Why was it Sylvester? Why not Sylvester Stallone? Why was it Samuel L. Jackson in G.I. Joe? Would be amazing. I mean, come on. He basically played a crooked G.I. Joe in Kong Skull Island.
And him and Sergeant Slaughter would be just fun to watch.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
Let me tell you something, Sergeant Slaughter. I am tired of these mother trucker cobras.
Oh,
You're
my
wrecking my
word.
mother trucking tank.
Trucker hat.
You're going to ride that until we actually get to that, aren't you?
Yes.
Diabetic Skeletor.
Fly me to the moon.
Let me play Among the Stars for I don't have to be in this stupid movie.
Nate,
No, Jimmy. Enough with the catchphrases. Anyway,
Nate, what is your rating for this film?
you two have put me in a pickle.
So is it a 3.5?
No,
No,
Roy's not
I am.
here.
Who do you think I am, Roy? What? Yeah, because you put me in a pickle because Drew, the non-fan, gave it a 6.5.
Yes.
And then Jacob, the fan, gave it a 6.
Yeah.
And here I was wrestling between 6.5 and 7. And I'm like, frick, what do I do?
I get that.
I mean, it's going to average out to 6.5 no matter what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Probably.
It's a middle of the road movie at this point. Go watch it because
The
the
high
nostalgia,
point-
and then
the
just
high
skip the
point-
Cobra. La, 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 la.
Yeah, la, 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 la. But the thing is that it's a movie. I think I agree with you. You can't. I don't think you can reasonably rate it lower than a 6 because its highs are really high.
They are.
Mhm.
Even the weird ones that like that doesn't really feel like G.I. Joe. Like all the stuff, la 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 la, like all that.
Yes.
But that imagery is great. Like
Yeah.
the
imagery is-
imagery is great. The
don't get me
world
wrong.
building's great. It's interesting. It's weirdly dark. Strangely disturbing. Like I still can't get over. It's like they got squeamish over certain things, but there's a lot of weird, disturbing stuff in this.
Yeah.
Even compared to like Transformers the movie, which I think is more traumatic. This is disturbing.
Yes.
mhm.
You know, but you know what? I'm frick.
Snurf.
I don't. Shut up, Jimmy. Anyway, 6.5.
Okay.
Okay.
I was wrestling with a 7, but the more we talked about it, the more I'm like, I think it has to be a 6.5. But the thing is that it's weird for me, the fan, to make it a 6.5 when the non-fan gave it a 6.5, and then the other fan in the room gave it a 6. I don't know how to feel about that.
That's fair. That's fair. Be like,
That's why
again,
it was. That's why it was screwing me up.
That's fair.
I would have expected like Drew to give it a 6 and you give it a 6.5, which would make me feel better about a 6.5.
That's really fine. Be like, I think the fact to be like there are aspects of the movie that
Yeah.
are really good, and then there's what the serpent is going on here.
What the serpent is going on?
What the
here?
serpent?
There's your title.
That's not
What
the title?
That's
not the title.
That's the episode title. What the
still
serpent is
having a
going
hissy
on?
fit in Shangri-La la 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 la.
Yeah.
But
What the is going on?
Yeah, Archie Steph says it's what the la 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 is going on.
either way,
Please don't cancel us.
next week
Yes.
we are having a Cellcast Plus episode
Yes.
about a movie that just came out tonight.
Yes.
We're going to be reviewing Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
So join us next week for that. In the meantime, we're going to play the intermission, and on the other side, we'll talk about some Batman.
Yeah.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
This week, we suggest checking out the Monster Island Film Vault.
Hey, that's him.
Hey, kaiju lovers, looking for a podcast that's a fun listen and takes big monsters seriously? Then check out the Monster Island Film Vault, a podcasting seeking entertainment and enlightenment through tokusatsu. Host and film curator Nate Marchand and his rotating roster of guest hosts take academic yet fun deep dives into the wide world of giant monster films and TV, discussing their artistic merits, or lack thereof, and their historical and cultural contexts, giving you a greater appreciation for an underappreciated genre. You'll hear about Godzilla, King Kong, Gamera, and more, while also getting a crash course in toku topics ranging from history to sociology to science. Along the way, you'll hear audio drama segments chronicling Nate's many adventures on Monster Island, with a colorful cast of characters like his intrepid producer, Jimmy from NASA. So pay a visit to the Monster Island Film Vault at monsterislandfilmvault.com. The Cellcast would also like to thank the following patrons: PaulJPowers.com, Edwin Gonzalez, The Book of Gaming, The Monster Island Film Vault, and Artsy Seth. If you would like to have your name shouted out on the show, plus episodes of our Patreon exclusive show, We're Just Super Saiyan, you can donate to our Patreon at the $1 level, or at the $5 level, you can get all that, plus uncut episodes of the Cellcast, plus special art from Jacob.
When I get around to it.
And at the $10 level, you can force us to review a film of your choice within reason in 2027, because we're full up for this year. So
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Also, please check out our Redbubble store for stickers, t-shirts, and various other memorabilia. You can find the links for that, plus many of our other stuff, in the Linktree link in the description. Or if you want to support us without spending any money at all, you can please rate, review us, and subscribe to us wherever you found us, and share us with your friends. Even if it's, hey, you want to hear a guy bash a G.I. Joe movie and nearly get canceled because they kept going Shangri-La, go listen to the Cellcast. Go do that. Okay, before we go into the animated series segment, does anyone need to take a quick break?
Yes. I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Cobra.
You imbeciles! Me, oh my Miss Molly.
Oh man, I love these headphones, but after they squeeze your head for 2 hours.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Oh, so Archie, Steph, so far, how many new TikToks have you gotten? Have you mined out of this episode?
I haven't gone and looked at my Twitch yet to see how the clips are going.
8? Only 8.
And I may have to wiggle around some of those too. I get a little bit of wiggle room I can do on those before I send them over to TikTok. Oh, those are coming out great so far.
I know. I have to give Jacob a little bit of credit. Obviously, this is sort of off cast here, but I have to give Jacob some credit. He's a trooper. I haven't wrecked him as bad as I thought I would. He's gotten a little used to me, I think.
He says you're a trooper because he hasn't wrecked you as much as he thought he would.
Oh, if you want to talk about wrecked. So, yeah, okay. So for our audience to be like, I've had kitty soda issues for about a year to almost 2 years. Had surgery because of that. That was lovely. And yesterday, I actually passed a stone yesterday.
Oh, yippee skippy.
Yeah, that was not fun. Oh, no.
When you were passing it, were you going Cobra? La, 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 la.
It's like, oh, no, I'm going to die.
Oh, no. I just realized I'm about to do what I was about to accuse you of doing. Because you were Shia LaBeoufing there for a second, then I did it. I was like, no, it's Transformers.
But now I have this image in my head where he's like, "Oh no, the stone is coming! The stone is coming! Come on, run!" La, 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 la.
And there's the break.
Yes! I have broke the Jacob. The tradition continues.
And I don't even have to play
Clip
English.
it, Artsy, right now.
And I don't even have to mark it because we're already in between parts. So breathe, Jacob, breathe. Yes.
Oh my word.
And his poor wife is going to come in here. It's like, Jacob, what's wrong with you? I was passing a stone. Why were you screaming? Why were you making racist screams?
It is
Culturally inappropriate screams.
Culturally insensitive screams.
It's culturally insensitive screens. I should mention, Jacob.
That's gonna be the name of my first punk rock album. Culturally insensitive screams.
We probably do need to go ahead and keep going because it's 10:40, and I know she's going to call eventually.
Oh no, she won't call, but she's
Text.
asleep. I'll turn it into a little pumpkin pup.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, my plan was as soon as we go off the air, I was like, Jacob, go home. That way the wife can't yell at me anymore. Apparently she yells at you when she should yell at me because you treat me like frickin' Cobra Commander with your wife who is practically Serpentor. You just throw me under the bus here, sir.
Jeez.
On the off chance that Ashley is awake right now.
No,
and
she's not.
And I said on the off chance, and she happened to tune in right now.
Oh my God.
Let me get out of the way before you get the wrath of God going. I do not want to be in the middle of this.
Just believe me, Ashley is threatened me like, where does this guy live? Oh yeah, India. I'm gonna fly to India and check this guy out.
All right.
I only come on every other month. It's okay.
Every other month.
You're allowed to have a little bonus boy time. Time with the boys.
There you go.
Every
Better-
couple of
better
months.
Oh, fly me to the moon.
Shinji, get the stupid robot. Let's go.
We've got to go pick up the Spear of Angrius.
Angrius?
What Angrius?
Longer.
Longinus?
Yes, that thing. I combined it with a
Angrinus?
I combined it with,
I didn't think it was Angerus. There is a Spear of Angerus, by the way. Godzilla singular point. But,
oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. That
I'm
is the
not
thing.
surprised that's where I pulled it from.
I thought you said Angrius, and I'm like, why?
I did say
why is he
Angrius.
mad?
Angrius.
Who is this mad? Who is this person who is mad, and why does he have a spear? Because I'm just like, all he's doing is just running around angry, like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Oh, this is getting to be a lot of orange juice.
Oh my gosh.
On that note,
Okay, let me breathe first.
I will get this episode done.
I will survive.
It's a good thing we changed our plans for after this.
I mustn't run away. I mustn't run away. I mustn't run away.
I mustn't fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the tiny death that I will pass through it, or whatever the phrase is, because it's been too long since I've read Dune. Curse you, Baron Harkonnen. And you're flying through the air while you're 5,000 pounds.
He's very jealous of Globulus because Globulus got to be a very buff serpent man.
Indeed.
Woosah.
Usha? I was right.
Woosha. Woosah.
Sweet niblets.
Thank you.
I mean, it's the 20th anniversary.
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. Anyways, Batman, shall we?
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am.
Cobra, Cobra, Cobra.
There is a song that the book sings.
La 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 la. For some. Go, off.
Copyright strike.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Cobra Kai. That's an entirely different show.
Cobra.
Batman the Animated Series. Baby Doll.
Yes.
First aired October 1st, 1994. It is production episode 76, broadcast episode 74. Written by Paul Dini and directed by Dan Reba. In this episode, a former child star, now grown bitter and insane, kidnaps her TV family and holds them prisoner on an abandoned soundstage. While Robin works fast to free the actors from Baby Doll's explosive death trap, Batman pursues the tiny fiend through a deadly carnival funhouse. New cast for this episode, we got Allison LaPlaca as Mary Doll / Baby Doll. Jason Marsden, yes, Max Goof himself as Spunky Spencer. Robbie Rist as Brian Daly. Judy Strangus as Tammy Vance. Tasia Valenza as Miriam, and Alan Young, aka Scrooge McDuck, as Todd Baker.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can hear it after you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He does sound like Scrooge without the Scottish accent.
Huh.
Trivia for this episode: Baby Doll's two thugs are drawn to resemble Gilligan and the Skipper from Gilligan's Island.
I didn't know that. Wow.
The character animation of Mary Doll is nearly identical to that of Mitzi from the cartoon Animaniacs, which was also made by Warner Brothers and this team.
That makes sense.
The character of Cousin Spunky Spencer is an obvious reference to Cousin Oliver, played by Robbie Rist, who played Brian Daly in this, a character introduced in the Brady Bunch last season and credited with ending the show. While sharing a similar appearance to Oliver, Spunky is also a musician, just like Robbie Rist. Although Jason Marsden voices Spunky, Robbie Rist voices the character of Brian Daly, an actor who played Doll's older brother in the show. The opening scene shows actors leaving a playhouse after a performance of Death of a Salesman, possibly as a reference to similar themes of misunderstood or altered reality and the desire for greatness felt by Mary Doll. The frequent viewing of old episodes of Love That Baby also serve as a stand-in for the flashbacks in Death of a Salesman.
I was wondering about that, actually.
Production order-wise, this is not only Studio Junio's final episode, but also their final overall animation services contribution to the entire DC animated universe. This is the last thing they did for them.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on this episode?
Oh, go ahead.
Fight it out for who goes first.
I was going to say, revisiting.
Go.
Revisiting.
No.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Clip that.
No, Batman. Please don't wake up my downstairs neighbor.
Again. Anyway, I will say this. Whenever you're ready.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I will say this was one, once I started watching it, it all came back to me. I was like, I actually remember this episode very distinctly. I didn't exactly remember why I remembered it very distinctly, but the farther we went along, it's like, I recognize this. I recognize this. The ending, I forgot how much of a gut punch that ending was. Which we will get to, because this was a Paul Dini episode, right?
Yes, this was a
Paul Dini
yeah,
episode.
which explains it, because Paul Dini wrote all the best episodes.
Yes.
So I forgot about this. Now I did a little bit of my own research because I wonder, is like, who is this character Baby Doll? And near as I can tell, Baby Doll does not exist in the comics, but there is a similar character who appeared in the 80s that may have inspired her. It's a character named Baby Boom.
Ah.
It's a similar idea where it's basically a villainous adult in the body of a child, but this was supposed to be like, I think she was genetically altered to still be a child. Hypoplasia, by the way, is a real condition.
It is.
I looked it up. It is a real condition, and it has to do with with like organs not developing correctly, which hinders cell development. So it's a real condition. It didn't make this up.
Yeah.
So kudos to them on that. But you would think it feels like it would be a bit of a gimmick episode, but it's not a gimmick episode.
No, it's not.
And
No,
like I
it's done
said,
very well.
it is very emotionally affecting, especially that ending.
Yes.
I forgot how good this show was at getting into the psychology of these characters. Even a one-off villain. Well, Baby Doll does come back. I did read that. Baby Doll comes back in one more episode later on. But it's amazing how much they get into the psychology of these characters and how weirdly, not your friend artsy, but how artsy the ending gets.
Yes.
And what really strikes me about this is that when you get to the end of this episode, really, it's kind of the whole episode, but it's really abundant in the end of this episode. Batman's not trying to hurt her.
No.
It's like he
He's
knows
trying to
she's
stop
actually an adult, but I wonder if there's still a part of him that's like, this is a kid. For the
Well, it's hard to remember when you're watching this episode that it's not a kid. Because I'm sitting here thinking this character is reminding me a lot of Elmira from Tiny Toons.
That's
There was a lot of Elmira. in
Yes.
it.
and they designed her intentionally to look like more of an of the Steven Spielberg character than a Batman animated series character.
Oh, agreed.
I think, but the entire you forget while you're watching it. Yeah, the voice sounds a little weird coming out as low as it is in her, but then when she goes to her non Baby Doll voice,
Yeah, adult voice.
you go, oh yeah, that is who this is.
And that actress did an amazing job.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding.
You know, being able to do both versions of the character, and and you can tell when she switches voices. And notice, this is the brilliance of the scripting and the voice direction in this episode. She only slips into the adult voice when she's basically talking about her trauma.
Yeah.
You know, she has that borderline comical soliloquy where she basically lays out her motivations for doing this. And it's not the usual thing you expect from a Batman villain. It's not for sadistic pleasure like the Joker. It's not for money. It's not for power. It's not for revenge. It's not for all of these motivations. It's because for her playing a child. And I think, wasn't there a black actor in the 80s or the 70s who kind of did the same thing? I was trying to remember his name.
Oh,
He was on
yeah.
a sitcom
Yeah.
where he played a kid.
Yeah.
But he was a dwarf.
Willis, the guy who played. What you talking about, Willis?
We're talking about Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Webster.
Yeah, that
I think
guy.
is the character.
I wonder if that might have been. Yeah, I wonder if that might have been a bit of an inspiration. But she wants
it probably is.
She wants to go back to that because that's when she felt happy, was pretending to be a child.
Yeah.
So it's like it's layered because it's like she was 20, but that was the height of her popularity as an
Gary
actress.
Coleman.
Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Coleman, yeah. But it's also she did it by acting like a child.
Yeah.
So it's like nostalgia. So it's like layers of nostalgia.
Yes.
And she only stops, and this was the incredible symbolism, because like I said, Batman's just chasing after her. He's not trying to hurt her. Like he at the most he fires the grapple gun at her because he's going to shoot her.
Yeah.
With her doll.
Yeah.
And he throws something at her. When she's using the baseball cannon at the fair. He's not trying to hurt her.
No, it's more towards her than at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And she doesn't stop until that incredibly symbolic ending where,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it
Where
doesn't
she
really
sees
make
herself in the funhouse mirror.
it doesn't exactly make sense, but it makes emotional sense.
Mhm.
Yes.
Where she sees what she would have been had she not suffered from hypoplasia, and she would have been a proper adult.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow, look at me. I'm pretty. I love it, but it's not really me.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
ever be that.
Mhm.
And then she shoots it, and that's the last bullet in her gun.
Yeah.
And
She
she
li-
and
in
then
teaser
starts
clip just doing
crying.
it.
And then
She starts
ends on
crying.
her line, "I didn't mean to."
Yeah.
Yes, because that was her catchphrase when she was on the show, and it's supposed to be
Yeah.
in a. It was they showed that in a funny context, and they showed it in a sinister context,
Mhm.
and then we get to this last one,
I think
and
it's also
it's like
very
she's apologizing because she's like, I don't know what else to do, and Batman just lets her hug him, and he just
Yeah.
puts his
Mhm.
hand on her head, and that's it.
I think it's also very interesting how when they're showing her trying to be a serious actress, she's playing Lady Macbeth.
She is playing.
Yes,
That
Which
is
is like
is Macbeth.
there is
in the
so
scene where
many
she's
layers in this
in the
episode.
out scene. So yeah.
Yeah, there's so many layers in this episode. You wouldn't expect something with a kind of weird, sort of obscure, may or may not be from the comics character. You would
Mhm.
expect this to just be, average at best. No. They go all in on this.
Mhm.
Agreed.
And I think one of the things that this really does, and this is a side of Batman I wish more people would talk about. Batman is not some gruff, tough guy who's just trying to, he's not some gruff edgelord kind of a character.
Mhm.
He really wants to help these villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to help her. They focus on the dark. They don't focus on the night part
Yes.
Yeah.
of his moniker.
That's always been my issue with most of the renditions of Batman after this, and really during it too, to a degree, with the what is the guy's name?
Joel Schumacher?
Joel Schumacher movies.
Yeah.
They focus so much on how dark the story is, they forget it's like these are still human beings, and Batman does care for them as much as he has to fight them.
Mhm.
Someone was pointing out to me that in a lot of cases, Batman always refers to the villains by their actual names, not their villain name, and the only one he doesn't do that with is the
Mhm.
Joker.
Yeah.
Because he
that's
doesn't
because
know
the
who the
Joker doesn't have
Joker's real name is.
No
Yeah.
one knows who the Joker's real name is. I mean, they go with Jack Napier
For the
earlier
movies,
in the
the
series
movie.
to rephrase
Yeah.
back to that's a reply to the original movie, but Joker's origin has changed so many times that you can't even say that's his actual story.
Mm.
So anyway,
Yeah, I do like the comment that RC stuff put in there where he's like he was there for Ace in the last episode of Justice League or Justice League Unlimited.
yeah.
And that's just a powerful episode if you've never seen it. Be like the fact be like this story is so about humanity, about a person's I don't want to call it an ailment, but more of her disorder she has
Mhm.
that has driven her insane to the point where she wants to relive something that was 10 years ago. And it's just
It's
like
literally toxic nostalgia.
yeah, it's talking to nostalgia beyond belief. And it's just be like it's a young woman who's now what in her 30s.
least.
They said she was 20 on the show, and I think this was 20 years ago, so she's a middle-aged woman at this point.
Yeah, she's in her 50s now. But at the same time, it's more of this.
Well, the dad looks like a grandpa now, so
Yeah, that's true. So it's just so be like the psychology, and like you said, is so deep. The fact to be like you're looking at a woman who is so desperate to go back to the point in time because we all want to live in the past in some capacity. You talk to a bunch of like older men, that's all they talk about. They talk about their past when they were younger and the glory days of what they did. It's the same thing with Baby Doll. She is so trapped within her past because be like she tried to move forward from it and it didn't work and it wrecked her life. and now she's desperate to go back to it because that's when like Drew said, was the only point in her life when she was happy.
Yeah,
And-
and the thing is it's understandable. She's
Mhm.
one of those understandable villains because
Yeah.
she didn't want to be a supervillain. She wanted to break out and do. Yeah, she was upset with this new character who gets introduced. By the way, that's one of my criticisms of this episode. I think it strains credibility a little bit that Robin was able to disguise himself that well
Yeah.
as that character, but this, other than that, she tried to do something else. Like she wanted to do something new, but she had been pigeonholed. She couldn't do it.
Stereotyped.
Yeah, very
was-
stereotypical.
yeah.
Typecasting.
Typecast.
Very
It was
typecast.
typecast, so she couldn't do it. And I don't want to say that what she did isn't her fault, but it adds to the tragedy of the character. When she does get to the end, she's like, didn't mean to. Because you couldn't make the argument. She didn't want to do it. She got kind of backed into that, and all she could think about was when she was happy.
Yeah. And really,
And-
like, if you look at it ultimately, like, don't we all want to go back to the points in our life when we were happy? Our peakest, and we're like, okay, this is my echelon. This is where I was. But the fact to be like, and her situation where she couldn't move on, be like the fact that she was typecast, she couldn't get any work beyond that, and she spent the next 20 years just rolling in her grief and her pain and everything, and it manifests into be like, I want to recreate this, but I'm going to force people to do it because this is what I want.
Yeah. And to a certain extent, she kind of tries to weaponize her condition.
She does.
Which is a very unfortunate thing that a lot of people do. Like it's kind of, this episode's a little bit prescient. Like, imagine making this episode now in the age of the internet. Good grief.
Oh yeah.
They would have a
She'd be an
heyday
influencer
with this
now.
character. Yeah, she'd be an influencer. Yeah, that'd be the thing.
Yeah.
You know, she'd be like a villainous influencer. That would, oh man, I almost want to see that now. Like Baby Doll in present day as an online influencer, man. And then she like captures the family and is live streaming what she's doing to them. Oh my gosh, you can get weird and dark with this.
Oh yeah, really quick.
Like this wasn't weird and dark already.
No.
Yeah.
She just wasn't filming it that we know of.
That we know of.
Yes.
That we know of. And then the other, I had like one other little criticism about this episode. Like, yeah, that didn't quite work. I'm trying to remember what it was. I also wrote that that madam, her lady henchman, I say looks like she looks like Sea Viper from
Miriam.
Yeah, Miriam. Yeah, she looks like Sea Viper from Street Fighter.
I kept expecting her to do more than she actually did for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, especially since she held her own against Batman pretty well there, which is
agreed.
Not an easy feat. Yeah, I think the thing with Robin was like my major criticism of this episode.
Yeah, that was a little forced, I think.
I be like, I do agree with that.
Oh, and the other one was like, she puts the dynamite on top of the cake and like, Baby Doll, given how large that explosion was after Robin grabs it with his teeth and throws it away, it's like that would have taken out all of you, including you. What was your plan?
I was sitting there going, I can understand if you're trying to take the whole family out with your aggression, but shouldn't you be running? And wow, did that dynamite look very Looney Tunes in design?
It did very.
I mean, with her Tiny Toons-esque design, it was very cartoony, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
But yeah, this is a very, very good episode.
Yeah.
It's one I kind of remembered, though I think I confused it with a later episode that may actually be either part of Justice League or another one where Batman is talking with one of the members of the Royal Flush gang. She's
Ace.
Yeah, I think I was confusing it with that one, but this is a very good episode. We've pretty much hit everything.
It's better. It's better really than it has any right to be.
Yeah,
agreed.
Given that, like I said, it's not about any of the heavy hitter villains.
No.
And it's in the middle of the show where it's starting to wind down for the most part. So before they reinvent the show later on. Why don't we go ahead and go into the next one?
Yes.
The Lion and the Unicorn,
I
Which
love that
first-
it's this episode because I was on for the first one.
which first aired November 15th, 1995. Written by Diane Duane, Peter Morwood, and Steve Perry, and directed by Boyd Kirkland. Fun fact, this is the final episode broadcast to be aired on Fox Kids of the entire DC animated universe.
And the first one with Red Claw was the first one to air.
yes,
Ironic.
ain't that a thing? And we had Nate on for both episodes.
Yes, we
Yeah, I was
did.
gonna say, I was on for the first one.
Planning it.
And Kate Mulgrew
Yes.
is still Red Claw.
I can totally hear that now.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
just saying it. Yeah.
I watched it going, Alfred, I need coffee.
And she's still playing it as the butch Russian woman.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
And she
in this
can do
episode,
it. She can do it. I
Yeah.
remember reading someone joke that Kate Mulgrew sounds like a woman who has smarked too many Marlboros every day
Right.
for years.
In this episode, the international terrorist known as Red Claw strikes again and kidnaps Alfred, luring him into a trap on his native England. Alfred once worked for the British Secret Service, and Red Claw has learned he was entrusted with the firing code to a hidden long-range missile. Batman and Robin have to rescue Alfred before Red Claw learns the firing code, or else she will use the missile to bring England to its knees. Getting into the cast, we've got Adam Ant as Bert.
Wait, what? Adam? Wait,
Yes, I had to double check it. His name was Adam Ant.
Dumb or add dumb?
Adam Ant. Not Atom Ant.
Somebody was having a little too much fun with his stage name.
This has to be a stage name.
Yes.
But he played Bert. And Richard Doyle played Ernie. Let that sink in.
Yes.
Roy Dotrice played Frederick. Kenneth Mars played M2. BJ Ward played M3. And Hal Rail played the cameraman.
Ah.
Though this episode was the last of the original series to be aired, the final episode of the original series to be produced was Batgirl Returns in 1994.
Ah.
The Lion and the Unicorn are the supporters of the Royal Coat of Arms of the United Kingdom. It is an analog for Great Britain that has been used in a nursery rhyme. Alfred's part of the code is the first two lines of the song.
Mm.
Struggling against the truth serum, Alfred quotes the opening lines of The Brook and later on The Charge of the Light Brigade, both by his namesake, Alfred Lloyd Tennyson.
Yeah.
The short and tall thugs who initially greet Alfred in London are named Bert and Ernie after the Sesame Street characters.
Ah.
Alfred refers to the smashed piece of furniture as a Louis Quinze being French for the number 15. I probably mispronounced that. So it's a Louis the 15th.
Ah.
This is the final appearance of Red Claw in the DC animated universe. It is not made clear if she drowned in the River Thames or was captured and imprisoned, though the former appears more likely as she is not seen or heard from again.
Mm.
And Red Claw is being the villain of this episode. As we mentioned, she was also the first villain of the series, and she last appeared in those episodes, The Cat and the Claw Parts 1 and 2. What are y'all's thoughts on this one?
I need more Alfred as secret agent. Like this is my favorite. This is my favorite background for Alfred. I love the idea that he used to be a British secret agent. Like he was James Bond when he was a young man.
Just think, Batman trained by James Bond is a great idea there.
Yeah, and it makes total sense. And I could definitely see somebody who worked as a spy and then would just retire from the spy life to a humble position like being a butler for an American. Like it makes so much sense that it gives Alfred such a mystique.
And it makes sense that he would then be a good mentor for Bruce as Bruce becomes the Batman, and
that is true,
and all over and it does everything.
Yeah, like this is like I said,
he probably trained Batman how to fight originally before Batman went under other masters.
Right. I don't know when DC went with this backstory for Alfred. I'm guessing it might be like a post-crisis thing. Because I don't know if they would have done this pre-crisis or whatever. But this is something that has cropped up in some form or another. The first time I ever saw it was this show,
Yeah.
but like it's hinted at. It's not in the Burton and Schumacher movies. It's
No.
hinted at. I don't even think it's in the Nolan movies, but maybe it is. I don't remember. It's hinted at in
It's,
the Snyderverse stuff.
yes.
Yeah,
There's
Snyderverse.
It's a very obvious Alfred in that knows more than he's letting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hinted at in the
So-
Snyderverse.
So I could
there was
see
a
it. I could see it in Nolan's thing too, because Michael Caine I could see.
yeah.
playing,
Actually, maybe they did. Maybe they did bring it up.
a secret agent.
Yeah.
Oh no, he mentioned in the Dark Knight that he was on that he was doing something, and that's where he met the person who had a jewel the size of a tangerine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he was doing the whole some
Mhm.
man just wants to see the world burn speech. Maybe that was what it was.
Yeah.
And then there was a live action show about young
Pennyworth.
Alfred being a secret agent called
Yeah.
Pennyworth.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They also mentioned that I think in Gotham, I believe they do mention that he was
Okay.
I never watched a whole lot of Gotham. I think I saw like 1 or 2 episodes, but they do mention it.
Right. So at some point this was done. I don't know if it was original to the cartoon and then they put it in the comics or whatever.
Mhm.
That happens a lot, but
Mhm.
at some point they settle on that. And honestly, I think I love that for Alfred. I love the idea of the humble servant who used to be a really big deal, but he decided to stop being a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he uses that experience to help the hero.
Yes.
Such a great idea.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
like I said,
I
I swear this episode was on a ton because I remember seeing it a lot.
Mm.
Admittedly, though, this afternoon I did have to watch it twice because I fell asleep in the middle of it because apparently I was tired.
Obviously.
I also wonder watching this episode if it might have subconsciously influenced my writing of my first novel because I too have a scene where truth serum is administered to a hero who
Mhm.
then gives what sounds like a nonsense response to a question that is in fact a secret code to unlock something.
That could
Right.
be.
Though they picked up on that way too quickly, in my opinion. But then
They had
you
time
got 25
constraints.
minutes.
Yeah,
so-
that's true.
So yeah, I had a blast with this one. You know, going to England was a nice change of pace.
Yeah, agreed.
It's one of the few episodes that leaves Gotham.
That is
or-
true.
Yeah.
Or at least the United States for an
Yeah.
extended period of time.
Admittedly, the British government is willing to work with Batman really fast.
Mhm.
I'm sure they've heard of him before.
Well, yeah, but still, they're just very willing to be like, okay, you deal with this.
And you American who dresses like a funny little bat. Okay.
Yeah,
He just shows up and he like, oh,
shows up.
they're like,
Nobody
"We're-"
questions it at all. It's like, why
Yes.
are you here?
Well, I mean, they do ask, "Who are you?" And it's
Yeah.
like, "Well, I'm Batman." Oh, okay, that's fine.
Oh, here's the layer. Here's everything. I'm like, wow, okay.
Why would we listen to you? Because I can give you Red Claw. Who's Red
Claw.
Claw?
Yeah, they agree to work with him really fast.
Yes.
You know. Also, Project Excalibur is a pretty
Of
cool
course.
sounding name.
Yes.
But that's almost generic British mission number 32.
Dum, 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 dum.
Basically.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, but they never question. It's like, aren't you a little out of your jurisdiction? Like, I would have liked at least one line like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Would have been like, aren't you out of
Batman
your
have
jurisdiction?
a jurisdiction?
See, I've talked with somebody and I kind of agree with him.
When you get later on with Justice League, sure, that everyone's going to know about Batman.
Well,
but-
also, he's not Batman from Batman 66, where he's actually part of the law enforcement.
True.
Yeah, but I remember talking with somebody, I think when I was in college about this, I'm like, at least with like the DC universe, because Marvel universe, everybody's in New York. But
Yes.
in the DC universe, he kind of says like, I kind of like to think that there's like this unspoken jurisdiction where all the superheroes stay out of each other's cities unless they have to be there.
Mm.
That makes far more
You know?
sense than New York, where it's like, why isn't Spider-Man coming out to help Daredevil? Because he's busy with clones in another part of the town.
Yeah,
my God.
geez. We won't. We're not talking about that. We don't talk about Clone Saga anyway.
No, we don't.
Hey,
No.
hey,
Anyway.
that's Spider-Man I grew up with. So okay.
The story's awful.
Oh, I know it's awful, but you get Ben Riley Spider-Man, you Scarlet Spider, whatever.
Yeah, but then they botched that.
But yeah, I agreed. They botched it twice.
Bear in mind, to my knowledge, we still don't know which Spider-Man is the original and which is the clone. because
The
they
clone
changed
was
it so many
Ben.
times.
The clone was Ben.
I know it's kind of how you have to go with. But
No, excuse
Yeah.
me. The clone was Ben Riley. Yeah, the clone was.
Yeah,
Ben
clone
Riley.
was actually been
either
around.
way,
Yeah.
Because they retconned it all the time because we love retcons around here. Look at it, you, J.I. Joe the movie. Anyway, so
Anyways,
yeah.
Next week, our Batman episodes are going to be Showdown and Riddler's Reform. So join us next week for that, along with Project Hail Mary. Nate, tell us about where we can find you. Time for your shameless self-promotion.
I mean, you kind of did it for me already. Do I really
Multiple
need to
times
get
this
into?
evening.
Yeah, I was just like, you already did it for me, so I don't know if I need to reiterate any of that. But I will say this: Film Vault's been promoted like crazy. I agree, Jimmy. So I will say, check out the other show that's technically part of Culture Box, but we're running into some production issues, and hopefully, once we get all that taken care of, we can more adamantly call ourselves part of the Culture Bot Network. But Henshin Power V3, we're three friends have 3 minutes to talk about Tokusatsu. I host that with my friends Chris, Sentai Guy, Christopher Reiner. Yeah. My brain is shutting down. I'm sorry, guys.
That's
Christopher
fair.
Sentai
It's
Guy
not your-
Reiner and Jake the Metal Don Hambrick. And in that one, we talk about Henshin Hero Television. And our gimmick is that, which we lovingly borrowed from another podcast, we only have 3 minutes to talk about each episode of television. And so we gotta really think fast and have our points together, as you do. So give that one a listen. We're hoping to have our episodes on Kamen Rider Fives and the Guyver animes out soon. So yes, we don't just talk about live action. And we've got some fun plans in store for season 2, including some
Alrighty.
guest episodes. And we're going to get to our very first Sentai on the show. Mirai Sentai Time Ranger, which became Power Rangers
Time
Time
Force.
Force.
Time Force.
Yep.
Which had to be crazily edited because of September 11th.
Yes.
Like you do.
As you do. Anyway,
Anyway.
and then also check out my author website, nathanjsmarchand.com, where you can learn about all of my writing as well as my podcast. I have a new book out right now, a collection of short stories called The Worlds of Nathan Marchand, Volume 2, Tales of the Lost and Lonely. So those are all available on Amazon, and there's a full list of all my books on my website. So go check that out. I'm a contributing writer to the website Kaiju United. So you can go read my stuff on there, including a very well-received article where I went to a Ray Harryhausen museum exhibit in Michigan.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
So that was really cool. I share a birthday with Ray Harryhausen, which is why I do a Ray Harryhausen episode for my birthday, Ray's, and my friend Elijah Thomas's, because we all have the same birthday. So he's a fellow Kaiju podcaster. Go listen to the Kaiju Conversation.
All right.
Nice.
And I'm also part of the writing staff and the stable of actors for Scyther Podcasts and their superhero audio dramas. You can hear me notoriously as my former roommate Rito on Power Rangers, the audio drama. Of all people, Deadpool on X-Men, the audio drama, although so far I've only ever been a post-credit gag. But I made such an impression, at least 2 or 3 people asked me to play Deadpool for their fan productions.
Nice.
Go figure. I'm not quite Ryan Reynolds, but apparently I'm getting up there. And then on Avengers, the audio drama, whenever they cross over with the Fantastic Four, I'm Johnny Storm, baby. So go give those a listen. And as I said, I'm also on the writing staff. I produced an episode for them, and I will be writing an upcoming episode of Power Rangers, the audio drama.
Nice.
Which is now Power Rangers Zeo, the audio drama.
That's fair.
They've gotten up to the Zeo era now. That's all the really important stuff, I would say.
In that case, join us next week for Project Hail Mary.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And Nate. And Jimmy from NASA.
And we'll catch you in the next frame.
To follow Jacob and Drew's individual internet exploits, check out the Linktree links in the show notes. You can email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter or X at @cast_cell. follow our Facebook page, the Cellcast Podcast, and join our Facebook group, the Cell Nation, our YouTube channel, Cellcast, and our Rumble channel, the Cellcast Gaming. You can join us every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central for our live recordings of our episodes on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. You can also join Drew on those same streaming channels on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central for gaming streams. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts can be downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. Our bad movie theme is It's Party Time by Gregory Snegoff, with additional audio from the film Titanic: The Legend Goes On. And remember, that's Cell with a single L.
Cobra, la, 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 la. That's all, folks.
I was once a man who had diabetes.
Cobra Commander was a man. I mean, he was a snake man. Or maybe he was just a snake. But he was still Cobra. La, 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 la. And that's the end of the episode.
I have been sitting on that joke for 24 hours. I was between doing that as my introduction or saving it for a post credit.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm like, I gotta get at least one diabetes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Apparently Artsy put like 11 clips.
You know what, Artsy, clip that ending right there.
Yes.
I was once a man with diabetes.
Okay, Twitch people, y'all are gonna be rating Pookie Gaming. It looks like he's playing Punch Out on the Wii. So,
oh my gosh, I remember when they did that. I was like, what?
So y'all go enjoy that, and in the meantime, we will catch y'all later.
Later.
Artsy stuff.
We're tired.
I was gonna say, yeah, artsy stuff. What the heck is that? Why does this gibberish? Is that some internet abbreviation I don't know about? Or are you laughing so hard you can't type?
And before she has a chance to answer,
Bye.
Raid.
Raid.